a matchmaking feature that will help you find the league that's right for you. So if you and your friends want to take your fantasy sports league to the next level, then download Sleeper in the App Store or Google Play. The link will be in the description. Thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Sleeper. All right, well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We're basically the fastest growing army on YouTube. Please do not look that up, but it is true. All right, well, thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. This video is over now. Go find something else to watch, or just watch this video. I know we had a lot of fun, but you can't stay on this end screen forever. No. This video is over now. So why are you still watching this? All right, I have two things to apologize for. One, this video is definitely gonna come out after Christmas, and two, sorry I look like such a freaking nerd right now, dude. These glasses. I have an ulcer on my eyeball. Merry Christmas to me. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. It's gonna get better in a few days. I just have to put these drops in my eyes like every 20, 30 seconds. I know this is gonna come out after Christmas because I'm recording this the day after Christmas. But to be fair, like, are modern Christmas movies even really about Christmas anymore? Old Christmas movies used to be like, you know, sweetie, this family is the best Christmas gift a guy could ever ask for. Why, I'm starting to think I won't kill myself after all. Whereas now, Christmas movies just feel like a hodgepodge of cliches that are vaguely related to Christmas. Every Christmas movie now is like, Christmas with the Stinks. What happens when Santa gets lost in a small town just 1 week before Christmas? He's gonna have to spend it with the Stinks. Hey, come on in, we're the Stinks. We like to poop and shit. Also, Santa is a secret agent, and he's got a gun. I have a gun. Starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as every role and filmed entirely in front of a green screen. I have a gun. Netflix presents Christmas with the Farts. Only on Hulu, July 7th. I mean, Netflix's like big Christmas movie they came out with last year didn't feel like a Christmas movie at all. It was a very confused movie about Santa being kidnapped by a witch who like sucks all of his powers up so she can imprison half of the population, which on its face does seem like it could be like a whimsical, fun Christmas movie. I just wish any of the people making the movie realized that, because they all just played it really serious and made it feel like a Marvel movie.
Hey, Fred. Got a 5'11" male grown-up hovering by the scented candles. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, we got a guy maybe stealing one candle. Can we get somebody to take him in the back and kick his ribs in? Also, Santa appears to have some kind of deal with the US military. They like escort him around with fighter jets. What does the US military get from this deal? Santa, are you making them bombs? I also feel like this movie does this thing that a lot of Christmas movies do now, where because Santa's whole operation is basically impossible, basically, not, you know, I still believe in Santa. They try to come up with lore that explains it and makes it seem more believable. So like in this movie, instead of Santa's village just being like a dozen elves helping him, it's like an entire city. It's a metropolis. Yeah. Now that actually makes it make less sense. It actually made more sense when it was just magic. Thank you though. Anyway, I don't really want to spend too long talking about that movie because it's pretty boring. And I also want to talk about the movies that I actually want to talk about. Dear Santa and A Very Jonas Christmas. Dear Santa also came out last year, and the premise, if you can believe it, is that a little boy writes a letter to Santa, but he is dyslexic, so he accidentally addresses it to Satan. And then Satan shows up. And it turns out he's the guy from the Minecraft movie. Yeah, very different kind of idea for a Christmas movie, but in their defense, at least they made him terrifying. Yeah, I don't know what kind of processing they did on Jack Black's face, but he looks very uncanny. I mean, he looks like a video game character. To the point where, like, he might be completely CGI. I don't know if Jack Black knows he's in this movie. And I think that this right here is what might have given me that eyeball ulcer.
Young kid writes a letter to Santa, but he misspells it and it goes to Satan. So Satan, played by Jack Black, shows up at Christmas time and comedy ensues.
Why did they put Jack Black in quotes?
Played by Jack Black.
Does Jack Black know he's in this movie? That's why Jack Black is in this movie that we made about Satan. On all accounts, this movie makes zero sense. I don't know why they made this. A child being haunted by the Lord of Darkness should be the plot of like a horror movie. Is he gonna be like his friend? Are they gonna hang out? Is this gonna be like Gooby but with an evil monster? They already made that movie. It's called Gooby. Now going into this movie for the first time, I knew two things about it. One, that Jack Black plays Satan, and 2, that something happens at the end of this movie that is in very poor taste. I was very curious to see what that was, but as the movie progressed, I honestly had a hard time seeing how that could possibly be. I mean, after all, there's so much insane shit in this movie, how could there possibly just be one thing? So most of this movie revolves around Satan trying to get this little child Liam to fulfill a deal in which Liam gets 3 wishes, and Satan gets his soul for eternity, and Liam goes to, and excuse my language here, hell. And in fact, he does eventually fulfill the deal, which leads to this very confusing montage.
What? Why so blue?
Why so blue? I just sold my soul to the devil.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble seeing why him selling his soul to Satan made him cool suddenly. Damn, look at that kid. He's so cool. What's his secret? I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. So, like, does that lead to the poor taste ending? Is it Liam's parents' marriage falling apart? Is it Liam trying to use Satan to get his crush to fall in love with him? Is it this kid's teeth? Is it him wishing Satan would resurrect his brother from the dead and it happening? Oh, yep, that's it. It's that.
We wanted to make sure that it didn't get too dark. It didn't become a horror movie or anything like that.
I don't know, guys. I think you made it too dark.
We wanted to tell a nice Christmas story.
Yep. It's nothing like Satan resurrecting a little boy from the dead to make you forget this movie had anything to do with Christmas. Also, like, a third of this movie revolves around Liam going to a Post Malone concert to impress his crush. And of course, Satan puts a spell over Post Malone to make him think that he's best friends with Liam. And when I was watching this, I was like, okay, so they must have just like repurposed all of this Post Malone concert footage from an actual Post Malone concert, right? Oh no. No, there's Liam dancing up on stage with him. Damn. They really threw a whole Post Malone concert for this weird ass movie. That's crazy.
And I wanted to bring up probably the most important man to my career and the inspiration for my music.
I am happy for Liam, but I'm concerned for Post Malone here. Bringing a 10-year-old on stage and being like, this little boy is my muse. He's everything to me. It's definitely gonna put a weird stain on his career. Everyone in the crowd is like, yo, this Liam dude sounds awesome. Post Malone has lost his mind, but this Liam kid can dance. Hey guys, it's me, Santa. I probably look a little bit different than you're used to, huh? Probably expecting a guy in a big red coat with a white beard, huh? Well, this is what I actually look like. All that stuff about rosy cheeks and a big white beard is all made up. Coca-Cola made that up in the 80s. I have always looked like this. Anyways, guys, I was just popping in here to thank SoFi for sponsoring this portion of the video. As we all know, one of the simplest and most powerful ways to build wealth is actually by earning interest on your money. Making your money work for you. Just like I make the goblins work for me. Like, that's right, the elves are another thing Coca-Cola made up. They're actually goblins, and sometimes I also hire ghosts. But here's the thing, when it comes to interest, most banks give you a tiny amount, like a fraction of a percent. But thanks to today's sponsor, SoFi, we're gonna change all that for you, all right? SoFi is a mobile-first finance company helping its members save, spend, borrow, and invest. When you open a SoFi checking and savings account and set up an eligible direct deposit, you earn a competitive APY, and there are no account fees. One thing I do want to make clear is I do still like milk and cookies, so if you're like, oh, this isn't the Santa I know, I'm not gonna leave out milk and cookies. That's the one thing I do like, but I like oatmeal raisin. I'm an oatmeal raisin guy. That means your money's not just sitting there, it's working. Every dollar you earn in interest can earn more dollars in interest. Over time, that's gonna really add up. You'll even get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. And you can access additional FDIC insurance up to $3 million on deposits through a seamless network of participating banks. For a limited time, when you open a new high-yield savings account, you can get up to a $300 cash bonus and a 0.7% boost on your savings APY with eligible direct deposit. Terms apply. So start putting your money to work like I put those geese to work pulling my sleigh through the air. That's right, reindeer can't fly. I use geese because they can fly. Head to SoFi.com/Danny, click the link in the description, or scan this QR code to learn more and get started. Thank you to SoFi for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SoFi. Merry Christmas! I just laugh like that. Now, I got a lot of requests to talk about this Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, A Very Jonas Christmas. And the movie definitely lives up to the title. Almost this whole thing is about the Jonas Brothers. Due to a series of goofy hijinks, they get stranded. And at one point in the trailer, it looks like they even get lost in the woods in Europe. When I watched the trailer, I was like, how the fuck are they gonna get lost in the woods? There are no airports there. So when I first heard about this movie, I was very excited to watch it. I think the only other movie I've ever seen these three brothers in is Camp Rock, and that movie was very easy to make fun of. And I don't really even think they've made many movies since Camp Rock. I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes, Nick's picture looks like it's from like 2013, Joe's 2015, and Kevin's 1978. Also, look at the poster for this movie. Is this about them trying to get home for Christmas or assailing a foreign dignitary to assassinate him? We got Nick in the car, Kevin in the train, and Joe is definitely gonna die up there. Oh yes, there's no doubt about it. This movie is gonna be pretty bad. Let's look at what it's got on IMDb. Oh, a 5.7. Okay, that's actually better than I would have thought. What about Rotten Tomatoes? 92? Wait, it looks like people actually really like this movie. And look at this dad on TikTok. He's losing his mind laughing. Did the Jonas Brothers make a good Christmas movie? On purpose? Okay, so I have watched the movie, and I will say it's better than I thought it was gonna be, but that doesn't mean that it's not insane, because it is still insane. For example, you're probably wondering how the Jonas Brothers got stranded in Europe in the first place. Like, obviously, most people have to deal with, like, holiday travel congestion, but the Jonas Brothers probably fly on, like, a private jet, right? They're not dealing with regular air traffic. Well, like I said, they just finished their tour. They're anxious to get home to their kids. It does kind of seem like their kids aren't really that anxious for them to get home. That does kind of lower the stakes of the movie a little bit, that they're like, guys, what are we gonna do? We've got to get home for Christmas. Our kids need us. And their kids are just like, nah, we're good, man. Don't worry about it. We have really healthy attachment, so we're not gonna fret too much about it. Don't do anything too drastic. How about we get lost in the woods and eaten by wolves? Well, isn't that a thing that Santa does? He casts spells like a witch? Dang, maybe I take back what I said earlier. Hey, come on in, we're the Stinks. We like to poop and shit. No, not that. The thing about the magic. It actually made more sense when it was just magic. Thank you, though. Yeah, that. Don't worry, though. The consequences of his spell aren't anything too crazy. After all, Santa... Did you check to make sure there weren't people on there? Let's have a moment of silence for all the people on that plane that involuntarily volunteered their lives for the greater good, helping the Jonas Brothers reconnect. I had no idea that when Santa worked his magic, there was so much like death and despair involved. That's crazy. Also, it's a little bit disturbing that I feel like the Santa in this movie has already done worse things than Satan did in that entire movie. Dang, they are really leaning into this ragging on Kevin thing in this movie. Like, damn, I know this is a thing people joke about. I know I've written a whole song about ghosting the guy, but you guys are his brothers, dude. Feels different when you do. Unfortunately, music labels have been like very strict about copyrighted music on YouTube, so I can only show you like a tiny little snippet of it. Now, one thing that made it kind of tricky to write a video about this movie is that they do this very self-aware thing where anytime like a goofy plot detail comes up, they make a joke about it before you even get a chance to think it in your head. Wait, they're getting to the train station just barely before their train, but they're gonna stop to sing a song about it? That's kind of... You think we have time for a song? Yeah! Oh, they already... Okay. But isn't this whole plot just the plot of a bunch of Christmas movies? Damn, they're good. Who knew the secret to making a flawless movie is just pointing out all the flaws before anybody else has the chance? Honestly, it is a pretty good tactic if your sole goal with the movie was making it really hard for commentary YouTubers to make videos about it. But it does feel very defensive, and it also kind of gets old to in every scene be like, yo, this is kind of weird. What is going on here right now? What the hell, is that a camera? Also, there's a lot of parts in the movie that are actually genuinely funny, and they kind of ruin them by doing this like self-aware thing, where all the lyrics are just about how being home alone means that there's no people in the house. It's a very funny song. Also, I think that YouTube is claiming this one less, so I think I can show a little bit more of it. But even when the movie is actually funny, the writers still feel the need to be like, what the hell are these guys even talking about?
I can't believe the show only ran 3 weeks. I can.
I'm sorry, Joe. Nick is just being so random right now. I mean, what is this? Some kind of movie? On Disney Plus, perhaps? Another downfall of this movie is that it really hinges on you knowing a lot about the Jonas Brothers. I mean, they weren't kidding with that title, dude. This is a very Jonas Christmas. Ideally, they want you to know, like, details about the Jonas Brothers' personal lives that I just am not in tune with. So I felt like I kept missing references. Like, apparently Joe has a line of candles.
I know what you need. A calming chamomile candle.
My new line, Glow by Joe.
Also, apparently Nick and Kevin are married with kids, and Joe is divorced? I didn't know that before I watched this movie. So every time they would vaguely reference it, I had no idea what they were talking about.
Got a few bad breaks.
Yeah, it must suck for everybody to know that you have brothers. That's what we're talking about, right? You had two brothers and then you got divorced with one of them, so now you just got one, huh? I know so little about their personal lives that in my head, Joe just is his character from Camp Rock. So when I heard that he was divorced, I was like, damn, it didn't work out with Mitchie. You guys were so perfect for each other. So more wacky hijinks happened, and eventually they get picked up by Santa. So I gotta be honest, it's a very like how the plane is in complete free fall and they don't seem to be affected by the G-force at all. We're going down! Everybody brace for impact! Oh, fuck! There's this running plot line throughout the movie about how Kevin secretly wants to sing in a Jonas Brothers song, but they never let him and he's too scared to bring it up. But at the end of the movie, they make it home to their families and they're all singing and they finally let Kevin sing. It's a fun moment. It's great to finally hear him sing, and it's great that they're finally letting him. But then in real life, I just saw that Kevin just like released his own solo song. So it kind of seems like the opposite happened in real life. In the movie, they're like, yay, Kevin is singing. And in real life, they're like, you have to sing as far away from us as humanly possible, please. Honestly, though, all in all, this movie was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I was laughing at parts. I even looked like that dad from that TikTok at a few parts, dude. I was sitting on the couch kicking my feet. I was giddy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hate to break it to you, but I don't know, this will probably be my last video of the year. Enjoy your New Year's celebrations, everybody. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to the Romance Channel, where we cover the hottest romance movies known to man. When you think of the perfect love story, what comes to mind? Passion, lust, destiny, brothers, psychological intimidation, gazebos. All of those? Yeah, all of them? Good. Because today we're talking about The Kissing Booth. I've had this movie recommended to me for a while, and I recently sat down to watch it, and I gotta say, guys, I'm pretty confused. This movie has a completely normal premise, and there's actually nothing wrong with it. It's not weird at all. Guys, don't we all have a best friend? And don't you and your best friend have a written, strict set of rules that you guys follow to maintain your friendship? And isn't one of them, don't fuck my brother? Do not have sex with my brother! Of course, so see, I don't know what the problem is.
Just don't end up grinding coochies with my brother, or I'll literally never talk to you again.
Grinding coochies? What the? Ugh. All right, you know what? Just for that, that's it. I am making the video. The Kissing Booth is a bad movie. This movie starts off with way too much exposition. Instead of a normal movie where you sort of naturally learn about the characters as the story progresses, the movie decides to just dump the main character Elle's entire life story on you in like 3 minutes. Okay, all right, okay. I think it's too much information, right? There's no way all of this information is necessary right at the beginning of the movie. It's not. It's almost all unnecessary information, actually. And by the time I finished watching this intro, I felt like I had already watched like 10 movies. I still have to watch another movie after this. I've watched like 3 people grow up from being a baby. Before the movie even starts, you watch Elle's mom slowly die in the hospital.
Sat with mom in the hospital, said goodbye to my mom.
Damn.
Told her all about Noah. Watched Noah ride his motorcycle for the first time.
Oh, hell yeah. Mom or motorcycle? I think we came out all right on that deal. Did we need to see the mom die? Did that have to happen? They barely reference it in the rest of the movie. Did they have to just rapid fire through that? I guess it gives you a reason in the movie, like right off the bat, to be rooting for Elle, because you've seen her go through some hard times. I guess later on in the movie, if you ever start to feel like she's being an asshole, the movie can be like, hey, well, her mom died, all right? So take it easy with the judging, okay? Pretty much all you need to know from the intro of this movie is that Elle and Lee are best friends. You know because they pretty much have the same letters in their name. And Elle has a crush on Lee's older brother, Noah. Noah is established as being irrationally angry and violent in the intro as well, so what's not to love?
And that's me today, savoring the last fleeting...
Hey! Don't fuck my brother! So Elle is clearly infatuated with Noah right from the start. I think we can all see that. Lee can see that. So you might think, damn, they have just a few rules in their friendship and Elle is not able to follow them. What a jerk. And 1, you haven't even seen the half of it, dude. If you think this is bad, what do you think the rest of this movie's about? And 2, Easy with the judging, dude, all right? Her mother passed away. I do find it interesting that the rule says, like, no dating either of our relatives. This rule was clearly made just to keep Elle away from Noah. Elle's only immediate family in this entire movie is her dad, who's like 50, and her brother, who was probably like 2 when they made these rules up. Her mother, I don't know if you know this, but she unfortunately did pass away, so she is not in the picture anymore. So did Lee propose this rule being like, hey, so, if you stay away from my brother, then I, a child, won't fuck your dad? Deal? One day while getting ready for school, Elle rips her pants and has to wear the only other option that the uniform allows, which is her skirt, which is a little bit too short for her comfort, and she ends up getting groped by a jock. Luckily, Noah, who we've established as being very violent, jumps in to beat the shit out of the jock. And this sets Elle and Noah's love story into motion.
No one should treat a girl like that, especially if that girl's you. My little sister's pants, which is super gross.
So Noah is the main love interest in this story, and they start out by establishing that Noah sees Elle as a little sister to him. Pretty interesting. And I do wonder how they're gonna get around that if he is to be her love interest in this movie. So the reason this movie is called Kissing Booth is because Elle and Lee run the dance club at their school, which they never actually show, but I think it just consists of them going to the arcade and playing Dance Dance Revolution, which, if so, is a sick idea for a club. But their school is having a carnival, and their dance club has to come up with like a fundraiser to do at the carnival. Kissing Booth! Oh, shit! I love how they both say it at the same time. That's such a specific suggestion. It's almost as if they've done this before, and they think of Kissing Booth as like the solution to every problem. Her mom was in the hospital earlier, and Elle's like, damn, if only we could heal my mom with some kind of Kissing Booth! The doctor's like, you two need to get the fuck out of here. Obviously, that was the first thing we tried. Before Elle and Noah can get together, though, we need to find a little bit more out about Noah. Like, who is this main love interest? We know that he's violent, which is awesome. But the movie also has to show us how manipulative he is. You see, it all starts with Elle exploring some other love options at school. For example, the man that groped her earlier. He calls her kiddo? Gross. Lock this man up immediately. You still got a lot to learn, kiddo. Like, for example, how fucking crazy I am. You have no idea. You have no fucking clue. But you're gonna learn today. I'm naked, baby. The Flynns are a very controlling family, aren't they? Like, in Elle's friendship with Lee, he's made all these rules that he has to follow. Like, don't fuck my brother. And now Noah has rules like, don't fuck anybody else. It's an entire family where they're like, hey, who are you gonna fuck? Who is that? Who is that? Don't fuck him. Fuck me. No, don't fuck me. That's not allowed. So the Kissing Booth is coming up, but Elle is having a little bit of trouble getting people to volunteer to work at the Kissing Booth, obviously, because that sounds gross as hell.
Need peeps to work our kissing booth.
It seems like she started texting people that don't even go to her school. This guy? This like bald middle-aged man? Is that a teacher? Whoever he is, he thinks that it's hysterical that she would even ask. She's got Abraham Lincoln in here, Frida Kahlo. This girl has quite the contacts list. I do respect Abe for his honesty though. You know, I guess that is what he was known for. But I understand his reservations. He has not had good luck with booths in the past. After a few more uncomfortable scenes of Noah protecting Elle from herself, it's time for the Kissing Booth. Since they're short on volunteers, when it comes time to actually do the Kissing Booth, Elle ends up having to step up to the plate, and Noah, our sweet, violent Noah, decides, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going in. The Hollywood sign at night. You guys ever been to the Hollywood sign at night? Great place to make out. Great place to get eaten by coyotes, too. I feel like a lot of people don't realize the Hollywood sign's like in the middle of a nature preserve. I think there's like mountain lions and shit up there. A coyote comes out from behind the Hollywood sign and is like, fucking by the Hollywood sign again, huh, Noah? This man's got some game. All right, guys, get out of here. I'm gonna have to eat your asses. I love that his secret spot to come and be alone is the Hollywood sign. Yeah, don't worry. I know a little place where we can be alone. It's called Times Square. We'll have a little more privacy up there. From there, their relationship blossoms. They go on dates all over town. They're sneaking around, trying to make sure Lee doesn't catch them. I was like, I would get off of him if Elle was here, but I can't see her right now, and I can't see who's telling me to stop, so I'm gonna fucking kill him! There's a lot of fallout from this interaction. Noah, like, skips town for a few days, and Lee doesn't want to talk to her anymore. Eventually, Noah comes back, and instead of coming to see Elle first, first, he goes to see Elle's dad to kind of like ask for advice and ask if it's okay if they date. The actor who plays the dad feels like he's from a completely different movie. Everyone else in this movie are these like beautiful, like model actors. This guy looks like he's from like a crime drama or something. He's a lot more like rough and rugged. He's very sour and sad. I guess his wife did just die, but that's pretty much seems like his entire character. He's not even like wearing the same type of clothes as the other characters. There's another scene where he looks like he just like rolled out of bed. Everyone else in this movie is like, what are we gonna do? We gotta not break rule number 9. And oh, this is so hot and fun and sexy. And he's like, every night I stare at my reflection and I don't know who I am anymore. Every time I look into your eyes, I see my dead wife. The dad's basically like, honestly, I don't care. You're not asking to date me, are you? I'm basically in my own movie over here, so I don't know why you even came to ask me. He looks like a detective in a gritty crime thriller. I don't know about you dating Elle, but I am investigating a series of murders that have taken place in a gazebo nearby. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? All right, Elle and Lee eventually make up and become friends again, but Elle doesn't want to take Noah back because it's just made everything so complicated in their friendship. I love you, Elle. I mean, you're my little sis. How could I not? So Noah decides, okay, Elle doesn't want me anymore. I'm just gonna, but Elle decides she wants to make up with him and finally comes around and decides, you know what? You can date him. Fine. He's going away to college. You'll probably never see him again anyway. So sure, I'll allow it now. Oh my God. What did you do to Lee, you monster? Also, how long have they been in the car? I swear they've been in the car for like 5 minutes. How did she not notice? Was he just sitting there silently the whole time? And he's like 8 feet tall. How did she not notice? I'm just trying to picture this. So Elle gets in the car. Noah's already sitting there completely silent in a Batman costume. They pull out. He says nothing. He's just sitting there. Something doesn't add up. And by something, I mean the whole movie. Anyways, the movie ends with him going to college. Yeah, he doesn't stick around. He just goes to college and that's how the movie ends. Doesn't that suck? They don't even get to go on like a real date as a real couple. He just goes to college and then the movie ends. All right, well, that concludes our time together today. You guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my subscribers on YouTube. So if you want to join Greg, just hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button. And then before you know it, your name will be legally changed to Greg. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? If you've seen my video about the Disney Channel original movie Zombies, then you know I have some deeply troubling feelings about that movie. It's a very poorly made, weird, cobbled together metaphor for racism. And on top of that, a lot of the lore surrounding the zombies doesn't make any sense. So I ended up walking away from that movie feeling like I had so many unanswered questions, which is why when I found out there are 2 more movies in this franchise, I was honestly thrilled. I could actually get some answers to my questions. They'll dive into the lore a little bit deeper. Then I watched the movie and realized that was a very dumb assumption to make. This movie does not answer any of the questions that you might have had about the first movie. In fact, it introduces a whole bunch of new lore that like is even more confusing and also kind of contradicts with the lore from the first movie. Now, all of that might lead you to believe that this movie is gonna be really bad, like even worse than the first movie. But honestly, this movie is not that bad. Also, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so technically speaking, this is a perfect film. So strap in and get ready, because I don't know if you've ever seen a technically perfect film before, but this is what one looks like. The movie starts off right away, changing the lore that we all know.
Welcome back to Seabrook, where belonging is everything.
It wasn't always this way. There was a time when we had to protect ourselves.
Right, we all remember that. In the first movie, you explained how the power plant blew up, zombies invaded the whole town and started killing and eating people. How could we forget?
Legend has it that when the first settlers came to Seabrook, they found wild beasts with sharp claws lurking in the forest.
Wait, so these beasts are different beasts? These are a different sect of beasts?
Which sparked an epic battle.
There was a war?
Seabrook settlers bravely fought off the monstrous attack and discovered a powerful energy source.
And that mysterious power source basically powered the entire town until that one fateful day when it blew up and created beasts. Different beasts. These are different beasts than the beasts we just saw. This is a very beast-heavy town.
The beasts were a distant memory.
Seabrook forgot monsters could be real.
So, hold on. You guys didn't think to mention this during the first movie? How could you tell us a history of Seabrook and neglect to mention the battle with mythical creatures that transpired? What else are you hiding from us? And what about this mysterious power source that runs the entire city? Don't you think during the 200 years since this happened, someone should have like looked into this, made it a non-mysterious power source? They were like, we'll call this beautiful land Seabrook. We'll build a school to teach our young, a hospital to treat our ill, and a power plant that might blow up. We do not know. Because of the events of the last movie, now all the zombies are allowed to commingle with the humans. It seems like things are really on the up and up.
It's hard to believe there was a time when people were afraid of zombies.
Crazy thing to say for someone who has for sure eaten his neighbors. Also, we saw what you did to people in the last movie, dude. It's not hard to believe at all. I'm still scared of you. Then we check in on Addison, who you may remember from the first movie by her platinum blonde hair that for some reason in this universe makes her some kind of sick, disgusting freak.
That's Cheer Captain Bucky, my cousin. My cousin.
It's here at Cheer Camp we learned two things. First, that story about the werewolves is kind of a legend, and no one's really sure if it's true or not.
You've all heard the stories of bloodthirsty monsters who roam these woods, feasting on innocent cheerleaders.
And two, the younger cheerleaders and the older cheerleaders are not getting along.
This week, the veterans and the newbies will compete for the Cheer Camp Cup.
I feel like one of those things is gonna have a bigger impact on the plot.
Watch and learn, Snowball. Ah, yes, my hair. Still white, still well conditioned, and still drawing fire from the AC.
Okay, thank God she addressed it, dude. I know we were all thinking, what the fuck is wrong with her? You should shave your head, you look insane. We then get a song about how well everybody's getting along now. The cheerleaders are having fun at cheer camp, zombies are entering all facets of normal human life. Zed's dad has even been hired as the project manager to demolish the old power plant, which I'm sure will have little to no consequence in this story. The message of the song is undermined a little bit when the cheer captain Bucky
My cousin.
launches an underclassman into the air with a high-powered water bazooka called the Buckzooka. Just a little bit of playful hazing, I guess, for the underclassmen. Oh, you want to be a cheerleader? How about some internal bleeding? That's hazing, baby. Nobody joins an organization that I've already joined and gets away with it. And while I do wish someone would rush this poor girl to the hospital, I do have to admit, the song does slap. The music in the first movie sucked in my opinion, but the production quality of not just the music, honestly, but the whole movie is way better in this one. Probably as a result of the success of the first movie. The first one was very popular. So they were like, look, this next movie, you know, it's not gonna make any sense, but it's gonna look fantastic. The lighting on that girl as she flies through the air with 12 broken ribs is gonna be so good.
I wish that I could call. I hope you get my letter.
Addison is hoping that Zed will write to her while she's at cheer camp. They have a bit of a love connection going on, as you'll remember from the first movie, but Addison never will get those letters because the older cheerleaders are shredding them and turning them into pom-poms for the underclassmen to use. Addison, I hate to say it, I don't think these cheerleaders are teaming up to make progress with you. I think they're conspiring to ruin your life. On the way home from cheer camp, love is in the air. Cheerleaders are asking each other to prawn.
Yes! I got invited to prawn!
Which is Seabrook's version of prom. Their mascot is like a shrimp or something, so I guess that's why it's called that. And for the first time this year, zombies are allowed to go to prawn. Bree is actually hoping that Bonzo will ask her to prawn.
Getting invited to prawn sounds great, but Bonzo won't even look at me.
Meanwhile, Bonzo was locked in on her, carving her face into a threatening-looking apple. And Addison gets a surprise of her very own because Zed has devised a very intricate way of asking her to be his date.
Addison, will you?
Zed!
Uh-oh! Zed's not supposed to be there! He's supposed to be floating over there.
Zed!
Addison, help! I'm gonna fucking die! Addison! The bus crashes into a gated forest called the Forbidden Forest, and Addison goes running off to find Zed, but what she ends up finding are werewolves.
We're surrounded by werewolves.
So here's where the movie started to lose me a little bit, and I know this is a perfect film, so this is probably something wrong with me, but I feel like when I look at these werewolves, they're not werewolves. They're just teenagers living in the woods wearing dead animals. You might be thinking, okay, these are people who are gonna become werewolves at some point. No, these are what the werewolves look like. They even go out of their way to show a full moon in one of the shots to be like, no, this is as werewolf as they're gonna get. These are outdoor teens with dead animals on. That's what werewolves are. And that's just how it is for the entire movie. And on one hand, I guess I understand because like true to form werewolves would probably be super expensive to do and make look good. But also, you guys didn't have to make a movie about werewolves. That was your choice. You already had a whole universe with zombies in it. You didn't have to add another creature. Or you could have kept the movie exactly the same as it is and just not called them werewolves. You could have made up a new creature. Just called them outdoor teens. It would have made sense. But no, you had to drag werewolves into this. You said this movie will be about werewolves. It will be an integral part of the story. And our costume budget will be $4. A few scenes later, a werewolf sneaks into the town of Seabrook and finds a drawing of like an actual werewolf that Zed's little sister drew. And he takes it back to the other werewolves and they all start making fun of it.
Looks nothing like us, Wyatt.
It's like they're trying to gaslight us. Werewolves don't look like this. Werewolves never looked like this. You'd have to be some kind of dumb, uneducated zombie child to think that us wolf people bear any resemblance to those half wolf, half people. After word gets out that Addison had this encounter with the outdoor teens, the whole town is a mess.
Dad, everything is fine.
It's not fine. There are werewolves circling us right now, waiting to attack.
They jump to the conclusion that the werewolves want to attack them so bad. Addison leaves the interaction totally unscathed. They didn't do anything to her, but the whole town, even the zombies, are like, ooh, the werewolves want to kill us so bad. We better kill them first. And eat them. Typical zombies. So the leaders of the town decide to reinstate all emergency monster laws.
All anti-monster laws are reinstated.
This sets up one of the big conflicts in the movie because, as you know, Addison wants to go to prom with Zed, but one of these anti-monster laws is that zombies aren't allowed to go to prawn anymore.
Zombies can't go to prawn.
Ouch. And when I say one of them, I firmly believe that is the only emergency monster law. It's the only one they talk about in this entire movie. They let so much else slide in this movie, but that's the one thing they're like, no, we cannot have zombies at prawn this year. Ouch. You'll see in a bit why that's so strange, but right now we gotta go check in with the werewolves because they're setting up a conflict of their own.
And you know we don't have much time. Our necklaces are almost out of power.
So the werewolves all wear this stone around their neck. It's called Moonstone, and it's sort of what gives them their power. I guess it's like some kind of mysterious power source or something. But it turns out that like 200 years ago, somebody or some group of people stole all of the Moonstone from them. So their reserves are running low and they're all gonna like die because they don't have their Moonstone. But some of the werewolves think that Addison fulfills a prophecy that the werewolves have about some white-haired lady who's gonna lead them to more Moonstone. This is the kind of lore that gets you a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Even if the girl is the great alpha.
A girl? The great alpha? I'll believe it when I see it.
Even if the girl is the great alpha, how do we find her?
I found this in the woods. It's hers.
We'll track her down with our keen sense of smell.
It says Seabrook High on it, so I thought we might just look there.
Kinda seems like they will use any excuse not to show the werewolves do anything werewolfy in this movie. All right, we've gotta find this girl. How would werewolves accomplish such a task? We could use our wolf noses. What? No, what is wrong with you? No! We could ask around? Yes! Also, for those of you wondering, yes, that is baby Ariel from Musical.ly. She used to be like the most followed person on Musical.ly. I always wondered what happened to her. Guess she lives in the woods now.
We find the girl, and if she's the great alpha, she'll tell us where the Moonstone is hidden.
We go in the morning.
We go tonight.
That's right. They're not gonna wait around. They have to go tonight. So they march out of the Forbidden Forest, down the streets, and into Seabrook High, singing about how they own the night. Then they open up a vent and crawl into it, and they wait until morning. So kind of seems like they didn't really need to go at night, did they? They all file into the vent so dejectedly. They're like, maybe we should have researched what this place is. I guess we don't know what a school is. They're not here at night. Imagine they accidentally went on like the last day of school before summer. A janitor finally comes in after 80 long days and finds 20 dead werewolves in a vent. That day at school, Bucky and Zed both decide to run for class president. Zed because he wants to reallow monsters to go to prawn, and Bucky, I don't know, he probably wants to like divert more of the school's funding towards an unmanned drone for the cheerleading team. But then, suddenly...
I will make Seabrook a place that embraces zombies and... werewolves?
What? Where? Oh, there? What a lucky guess. How can you tell? People peering in through glass doors? Yep. Those teens live outdoors.
Man. Willa, we can't go to war with the whole town. We'll never find the Moonstone if they're on high alert.
Yeah, dog, I think that ship has sailed. You guys just charged them growling and gnashing your teeth. I think they're on high alert. Hey, all that stuff we did back there, that was we were just messing around. We're just a bunch of friendly teens. Don't look at her. Do not look at her.
Sorry. We werewolves so admire your town, and we just came here to join your school.
Okay, well, that's obviously not allowed. You guys were about to kill them, and also the emergency monster laws are in effect, and there's definitely one forbidding such things.
Technically, the Forbidden Forest is within the school district.
What?
So welcome to Seabrook.
What? Wow, guys. The emergency monster laws are working great. No, you did so good. You did such a good job. They were so close to killing you, and they only stopped because they found out Bonzo's not allowed to prawn. So... good rule. So just like that, the werewolves enroll at Seabrook High. And wait a minute, all of the werewolves look the same age. Are they all teenagers? Or are some of them like 80 years old? Are some of them babies? And how does that work in dog years? Are they going to classes? I don't even know if they know how to write. They're not gonna be able to find the Moonstone. They're gonna be too busy failing all their classes. So Zed is worried about losing the class president election to Bucky, so he decides to go over the new untapped voter base, the werewolves.
Werewolves of the swing vote. Hello, wolves. I'm Zed.
Do it like the zombies do.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like the werewolves aren't gonna care who becomes the class president. They don't know what a president is. They don't know what school is. They live in the woods and they wear Moonstone, dude. You have no fucking clue.
Come on, we've got moves to bust.
Throughout this whole movie, Addison has her own thing going on too, where she just feels like she doesn't belong anywhere. That's right, despite being a bleach blonde cheerleader at a Disney Channel high school who was literally elected captain of the cheerleading team in this movie, she just doesn't fit in.
I don't feel like I belong anywhere, where.
Which makes her that much more susceptible when the werewolves come a-knocking. The werewolves are starting to get desperate, and given that they think that Addison is the great alpha, which again, she could not be, they bring her back to their cave and ask her for help.
I believe you're the great alpha. I believe you're a werewolf.
That's it. That's why she doesn't fit in. That's why she has ugly hair. It's because she's a different species. It finally makes sense. So they do a little dance, they do a little wardrobe change, and now she's a werewolf. Damn, that was a fast costume change. Did she know they were gonna rip her clothes off down there? This seems terrifying if she didn't. The rest of the gang gets worried when they realize Addison is gone with the zombies, so Zed shows up and he just fucking kills one of them. Holy shit, dude. And we never see that guy again. I think he's dead.
The explosion came from Seabrook Power.
Seabrook Power is the birthplace of zombies.
A little lime soda mixed with some mysterious energy, and then bam! Zombies.
Nice story, but it doesn't concern us.
Nice story about you and your unknown electricity fuel, but we've got our own problem. We're looking for a mysterious power source.
But it does concern you, Willa. That could be your Moonstone, right?
Oh shit, she's right. So for the rest of the movie, Addison is like pretending to be a werewolf. She shows up to school the next day and she's like, I'm a werewolf. I've always been a werewolf and I've always known I was a werewolf.
Addison, if you ever expect to be cheer captain...
Well, maybe I don't.
Maybe I'm not meant to be cheer captain. Maybe I'm meant to be eating gerbils. What do werewolves do? I actually don't know what they do. I know I am one, I just don't know what we do. Then we get the presidential debate between Zed and Bucky, and this is how all presidential debates should go.
I'm a real human. There's no danger in that. They're real monsters. Man. What if they turn back?
There should be singing, there should be choreography. One of the sides should be claiming that the other is a dangerous beast. And President Biden, how would you respond to that claim? He wants to eat me! He's trying to fucking eat me! The demolition of the power plant is imminent, so the werewolves rush there to stop the mayor from destroying all their Moonstone. Via song? It does not go very well.
Arrest them!
Oh my god, dude, he said arrest them, not gas them.
Colloidal silver.
That'll tame those beasts.
You know, for a government that just found out werewolves exist, they sure seem to have the exact chemical compound that would hurt them most. Colloidal silver shuts down their nervous system instantly. Just a hunch. Then Addison and the cheerleaders show up, and then Zed and the zombie show up, and now they're all singing, trying to convince the mayor to shut this thing down. Okay, at this point in the song, they're just having fun with it, man. They're just splashing around. I don't even think they're trying to convince the mayor anymore. He's not even in that part of the power plant. He's just standing alone in the main entrance now. You can hear music just vaguely echoing through the plant. Okay, I get it. I think I figured it out like 20 minutes ago, guys. Okay, so I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is they decide not to blow up the power plant.
Stop the detonation.
The bad news is the demolition guy accidentally does it anyway.
Shut it off.
I can't.
And also, Addison finds out she's actually not a werewolf.
Am I?
Bree's like, I don't know. They sort of just look like regular people to me. You look like a teenager who lives outside.
She's not a werewolf.
Oh, that's so embarrassing, dude. We all saw you act like a werewolf. You dressed up like one and everything, dude. No! Don't worry, this movie does end with them finding a way to access the Moonstone underground. They transport it to Prawn, and then they dance all night in the iridescent glow of this mysterious power source that is surely exposing them all to a dangerous dose of radiation. And then at the very end of the movie, they hint at another sequel, which seems to have something to do with aliens.
Weird.
And that is Zombies 2. And now it's time to talk about our sponsor. This video has been sponsored by... Guys, it's the season of giving, gathering, and with HelloFresh, it can be the season of saving. You can actually save money this holiday season with fresh, delicious recipes delivered straight to your door. It's cheaper than takeout, it's easier than grocery shopping, and the meals turn out so good. I like HelloFresh because I'm not really much of a chef. Okay, I don't really know how to cook well, but every time I cook HelloFresh, it ends up turning out great. Last night we had these Tex-Mex enchiladas. Didn't take too long to prepare. Turned out great. Honestly, best homemade enchiladas I've ever had, and I was the one who made them at home. I've got a lot going on. I've got a baby. I've got family visiting. It's a busy time of year. So sometimes it can feel impossible to get a good, nutritious homemade meal in, but not with HelloFresh. Can I let you in on a little secret? Some of their meals only take 15 minutes to prepare. How is that possible? Must be Santa. And guess what? HelloFresh is actually more than just dinners. They've got breakfast, they've got lunches, they've got snacks. So you can start skipping the grocery store for a variety of meals. HelloFresh is making life so much easier. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and for free breakfast for life, visit the link in the description or scan this QR code. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That is free breakfast for life with HelloFresh at my link. Again, this QR code. Don't use a different QR code, it won't work. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on YouTube. Do not look that up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? I've wanted to make a video about the High School Musical movies ever since I started making videos about DCOMs almost 5 years ago. More so as just an excuse to go back and watch them, because when I was a kid, I really liked these movies. And if you're a millennial, chances are you did too. And you were also too scared to admit that to any of your friends. I don't know why as an 11-year-old I felt the need to pretend that I didn't like a movie that was, you know, made for 11-year-olds. As if all my friends were gonna be like, High School Musical? I don't know, man. Sounds a little immature to me. I only watch war footage. I'm a very violent young man. Either way, something I did not realize as a kid is how low budget these movies were. The first movie was made on a budget of $4.2 million, which might sound like a lot, but Zombies 3, which is a newer DCOM, cost $40 million to make. In Zombies' defense, though, they needed the money. Those werewolf costumes looked pretty expensive. So instead of getting ready for the parties, he's making Troy run drills in the hotel gym.
Am I going left? Yeah. He looks middle, you take it downtown.
Well, Troy, it's New Year's Eve. You know what that means. That's right, Dad. I might finally get my first kiss.
Fake right! Take the ball downtown!
Troy's mom comes to get them for the party, and Troy asks if he can have one more basket with all of the confidence and swagger of a real high school jock.
Come on, one more.
One more? Just one more basket, please. Troy shows up to the teen party and is immediately yawning his face off. All right, hell yeah. This is clearly a popular jock who knows how to party. Somehow, despite being the two most bored people at the party, to the spotlight operator's credit, they actually do crush it. They both get up there and they're nervous at first, but then all of a sudden, Troy's voice, it's like it changes almost, actually. It's like his voice changes from his voice to like a professional singer's voice. Because that is what happens, actually.
Living in my own world. Now who'd have ever thought that?
I think this might be like the most well-known High School Musical trivia, but for the vast majority of the first High School Musical movie, it's not Zac Efron's voice singing. He had a voice double. His name is Drew Seeley, and he never appears on screen in the movies. He also apparently didn't even realize how big of a movie High School Musical was, and forgot that he had done the vocals for the movie until it came on the TV while he was working a shift at P.F. Chang's. Apparently, he tried to convince his coworkers that it was really him singing in the movie, and no one believed him. It's kind of funny because the whole point of the movie is kind of like, hey, basketball guys can sing too if they wanna. But not this basketball guy, actually. You don't want to hear this basketball guy's voice. So they crush the song, and then, actually, I don't remember this scene. Yeah, I don't know what happens here at all. Looks like the teacher is about to maybe give some kind of speech about today's sponsor? This video is sponsored by the Pokemon Company International. And they've sponsored this video because they want me to share some very exciting news with you. A Pokemon Day celebration is taking place in Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket right now. There's a new themed booster pack, Triumphant Light. And players can receive 3 booster packs for free just by logging in. And these booster packs, mind you, are guaranteed to contain at least 1 card of 4 diamond rarity or higher. By completing special missions, you can also obtain a unique display board, as well as Space-Time Smackdown packs, 500 trade tokens, 12-pack hourglasses, 24 Wonder Hourglasses, 24 Trade Hourglasses. Not to mention, at the end of March, ranked matches are coming to the game. So get your favorite decks ready and get ready to battle, baby. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket is a free-to-start game, available right now for download on iOS or Android. So go to this link or click the link in the description to join now. Log in, have some fun, and enjoy the Pokemon Day celebration. And now back to Troy. But unbeknownst to him, there's a new student at East High.
I reviewed your impressive transcripts. I expect your light will shine very brightly here at East High.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
Freaky genius girl? What did you do at your last school? Troy notices that Gabriella is sitting in the back of their drama class, and not to be nitpicky, but this drama class scene lasts for 2 minutes, but the class happens in real time from start to finish in that 2 minutes. The bell rings. They sit down, the whole class gets detention, and then the bell rings again and they leave. How long is a school day at East High? Is it like 15 minutes? Troy shows Gabriella around, they catch up a little bit, and it is revealed that East High is having auditions for their winter musical pretty soon. Troy jokes that Gabriella should sign up because, you know, they sang together, and Gabriella's response is basically, fuck no.
I'll be signing up for anything for a while.
Yeah, I don't know why. I remembered this movie differently. I thought they both wanted to do the musical. Troy seems to maybe want to do it, and Gabriella's like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I don't sing. I'm not a freaky genius girl, and I'm definitely not a freaky singer girl.
So, dude, you know that school musical thing? Troy, the music in those shows isn't hip-hop, okay, or rock. It's like show music.
Yeah, and you guys would never do anything like sing show music, right? That's the funny thing about this movie. Since it's a movie about a musical, there are several characters in this movie that are opposed to musicals. So it is a little jarring to see those characters seemingly completely unaware that they are literally singing and dancing right now. But on the other hand, I guess it would also be weird if they didn't sing when everyone else was. At the end, when they're all singing, we're all in this together, Corbin Blue's just standing around like, this is lame. There's 2 parts in the song though where Troy like stops rapping to sing from the heart about how he wants to do the musical.
She makes this feel so right.
Should I go for it?
What do you mean she makes this feel so right? And should I go for it? Gabriella doesn't want to do the musical. It was your idea, and she said no. Don't drag her into this. This girl's making me crazy. No, you're crazy. You already were, and then you met a girl. That's what happened. Also, Zac Efron is 5'8", and presumably so is everybody else on this basketball team, because they're all like the same height. So how good exactly are they at basketball? Okay, on. Wow, where'd he go? Pay no attention to the fact that as he turns the corner, he probably fully saw Troy like. Meanwhile, Troy's dad is just standing there like, huh, that's weird. Could have sworn I saw basketball. Now, when we see the auditions, it becomes immediately clear that while Ryan and Sharpay are basically made out to be the villains of this movie because they're so overprotective of their theater department, they are completely in the right to do so. Not because their audition is really good, which it actually is, but because everyone else's is so bad.
It's hard to believe
that I couldn't sneeze.
It seems that no one else in this entire school can even sing. It seems like they actually don't even have a concept of what music is. So like, yeah, I would actually be hoping I got the lead too. It is funny how they all act like they can't sing, and then anytime there's like an actual musical number as part of the movie, every member of the student body sings their heart out like the Renters do. What's going on there? So Troy shows up to audition, and then Gabriella shows up too. I guess, turns out she actually did want to audition. I don't know. I don't know if Troy threatened her or what, but she shows up. But they are too late to the actual audition, so they don't get to audition in time, but they stick around afterwards and just sing an audition anyway. And Miss Darbus, the director, hears them and decides, you know what, you guys get a call back. Understandably so, she's working with a very small talent pool. Here comes two people who know what a song is. She's got to hold on to that. As you can see here, the pain is manifesting itself in Troy physically here, as he can't even shoot a basket without experiencing immense physical trauma. Aren't basketball players supposed to be good under pressure? Especially the captain of the team. Seems like this whole movie we've seen nothing short of the psychological unraveling of Troy because he sang with a girl one time.
Hey, we just had another team meeting.
We just had another team meeting, man, and we just wanted to say we forgot about J.J. Buckets Jenkins, class of 1984. Does that change your mind? So later, Troy sneaks up onto Gabriella's balcony. Again, huge house, no explanation, to try to win her back. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember this part being so pitchy, but this actually is Zac Efron's voice.
Here with you.
Yeah, this is very uncomfortable. Can we get Drew Seeley in here, please?
Start of something new. Pairs audition.
Saying it's a pairs audition kind of implies like I would audition without you if I could. I guess Troy meant what he said earlier to the webcam. He really does not care about Gabriella. He just wants to be in the musical.
Gabriella is not important.
You might make the mistake like I did when I watched this as a kid of thinking this is kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story about Troy and Gabriella. And it is a Romeo and Juliet story, but Gabriella is not Juliet. Juliet is just the musical. I can't help but feel like all that screaming at you and making you play basketball until your hands bleed has had some kind of negative effect on you. But all I want in life is for you to be happy. While playing basketball, I am still demanding that.
Thanks, Coach. Dad.
Let's stick with Coach unless you win, all right? Sharpay and Ryan try to throw another wrench into Troy and Gabriella's plans of attending the callbacks for the musical by getting the callbacks changed to the exact same time as not only Troy's championship basketball game, but also Gabriella's decathlon tournament. So the gang has to create a diversion. That way they can make all three events. So Gabriella, and don't sing and dance with them like you learned a valuable lesson. Get out. If Gabriella dropped dead right now, you would dance on her grave. And that's High School Musical 1. Many people lovingly remember Little Viking Boy from the first High School Musical movie. And while he rocketed to stardom in the wake of the first movie, his troubled life and fall from grace has been the subject of many concerned Twitter threads in the 19 years since. Do you know why I pulled you over today, sir? Huh? I said, do you know why I pulled you over? You're all over the road. Huh? All right, you want to play tough, asshole? That's fine. Huh? All right, step out of the vehicle, take off that helmet.
No, I can't take this off. It's a birth defect. It's part of my body.
Are you drunk?
I don't know, huh? Let's think about that. Does crack get you drunk? Let's think about that for a second. Let's all think. Does crack get you drunk?
After 15 DUIs and 3 counts of kidnapping exotic animals, little Viking boy was sentenced to life in prison. Authorities claim that it's here he became head of an extremist religious cult. His followers helped him escape in 2023, and his current whereabouts are unknown. Although he does occasionally post to Instagram to frantically proclaim the end is near or post a brand deal.
Every morning I wake up and I drink 6 bangs.
High School Musical premiered to 7.7 million viewers, a record that has only been broken a handful of times in the nearly 20 years since. But one of my favorite things to come out of the success of this movie, which I totally forgot about until I was making this video, was the live concert. I forgot about this until I went to the library to check out the DVDs for the 3 movies, and they happened to have a DVD of the recording of High School Musical in concert. This feels pretty unusual even to this day for a Disney Channel movie to put together a live touring concert featuring the actual cast of the movie, selling out arenas with audiences in the tens of thousands around the world. But it wasn't the whole cast, actually. Zac Efron couldn't be there because he had a commitment. He was filming Hairspray at the time. So who did they get to fill in for him?
Living in my own world, didn't understand.
It's Drew Seeley! Drew Seeley! I'm sure they advertised the fact that Zach wasn't going to be there and Drew would be in his place, but I have to imagine every concert, there were like 1 or 2 kids that were like, what the fuck? Zach looks different in person. With all the success of the first movie, they had to crank out a sequel fast, which they did, releasing High School Musical 2 in August of 2007. And you might think it would be impossible for them to catch lightning in a bottle twice, but oh baby did they. What time is it? Sequel time. One of the first things I noticed is that despite only a few months having passed from the events of the first movie, Troy looks drastically different. His hair is much darker, he has a different haircut so you can see his ears now, but most strikingly of all, his eyes have somehow become more blue. You actually listening? His eyes were already pretty blue in the first movie, but they're piercing in this film. It is scary. Get some contacts, you freaks. The class immediately erupts in celebration. They throw their papers in the air, start dancing around, and did Chad just kiss his teacher on the neck? Yeah, he just kissed Miss Darbus on the neck. That's too far. Luckily, it doesn't look like she cared. She's just vibing.
Good to be chilling out.
We finally get to hear Zac Efron actually singing this song, and I hate to admit it, but he sounds pretty good. I'm sorry, Drew. Your services are no longer needed. Why does he do that? Now, the trouble in this movie begins because Troy wants to make some extra cash this summer. His parents are making him pay for college, despite them clearly being very wealthy, taking vacations at ski resorts and living in a literal mansion.
But I gotta get hired first. Me too. I'm saving up for a car. So I can take that little hottie on a proper date.
You can't see it, but he's actually not talking about that girl in his grade. Miss Darbus is just standing right outside of frame. Why does he look so confused there? It's like it never occurred to him that T could be for Troy. He's like, oh, I actually thought it was a cross, but yeah, T for Troy. That's my name. Now that the school year's over and basketball season isn't starting back up again for months, it's time for, you guessed it, basketball practice. Fake right, Troy, fake left. Take the ball uptown for a fancy dinner. Is that a real song in this universe? So in the first movie, it seemed like Sharpay might have had a little crush on Troy, but in this movie, she's got a big crush on Troy. She's like, he's the most popular guy in school, and I think I'm the most popular girl in school. It's a match made in heaven. So she pulls some strings at her family's country club to get Troy a summer job there. The only catch is Troy requests to get like the entire school hired, and somehow that works. So Troy shows up because they are just kids. So some of the insane demands that their job is asking of them is just like, hey, can you show up to work on time and make sure you clock out at the end of your shift? And the entire student body of East High is like, we're in prison! They're not gonna pay us until we provide a service? What kind of dystopian universe is this? Mr. Fulton is 100% correct to be strict, by the way. Several times throughout this movie, he catches them doing things they're very clearly not supposed to be doing.
Well, time flies. when you're having fun.
I'm not really sure what prompts that reaction. They're like, you know, we could do a lot of great things for your future. We really want to help you, Troy. And he's like, I don't know. I'm getting the fuck out of here, guys. See ya. If that were Mr. Bolton there instead of Troy right now, he'd be barking like a dog.
Pay's dad let me play a few holes and then invited me to dinner with some U of A alumni.
Really? Oh, wait, Troy's dad is fixing up a car. Look, he has other hobbies. Good for him. Granted, he is propping up the hood of the car with a basketball, and there's more basketball and hoops in the background. And I do kind of feel like if we could see what he's working on, there would just be 5 basketballs where the engine is supposed to be, but it's a step in the right direction. Troy's dad, surprisingly, is all for Troy going for the basketball scholarship.
Nothing wrong with keeping your eye on the prize.
And that's great. I totally agree with that. Troy should capitalize on these opportunities he's been given, but he should try to make his girlfriend and his friends a priority too. However, that is not what Troy does. This song is great, but tell me why at the end of the song, Ryan and Chad are wearing each other's clothes. Because they don't ever address that. It's such a confusing part of the movie. Why did they change clothes? When did they get naked? So I was confused about this, so I actually went looking and I found an article where the 2 actors explained what happened. The outfit swap was actually suggested by director Kenny Ortega. Quote, he had the on-the-fly idea at the last minute, Blue said. We had already done one take of that scene and he did the usual thinking gesture and said, switch outfits. Bro was cooking. Bro was, you know, I don't know what he was cooking, but bro was cooking something.
Hey. Well, you missed out on a fun night.
What? Troy, respectfully, I think you have a lot more to worry about than your golf swing. That's not what this song is about, is it? Guess it's kind of vague. Hell yeah, dude. You know, powerful lyrics aside, I actually have no clue what he's decided on at the end of this song. He's kind of just like, you can bet on me. I'm gonna end up on top. I got this. And it's like, what are you actually gonna do though? Are you gonna get Gabriella back? Are you gonna do the talent show? He's like, no, I was just gonna stand on top of this mountain for the rest of the summer, actually. No one can be mad at me up here. The end of this movie is messed up. Sharpay actually turns her act around. She previously got the Wildcats banned, and that's the end of the movie. And now I'm very excited to watch the 3rd movie. But before I do, there's something I need to address. I feel like there's something deeply wrong in these movies. And I feel like I'm finally starting to get a handle on it. These movies, like, they don't really feel like musicals. And it took me a while to figure out why. So to explain it to you, we're gonna have to go back to medieval Europe.
In a French town in 1518, some 400 people became inexplicably overcome by an urge to dance. They did so for weeks on end.
This dancing plague, as it was later coined, lasted for months and only ended when participants were either so exhausted that they collapsed or so exhausted that they were dead. Authorities tried to stop the dancing, even hiring musicians to play vigorously to try to help them get all the dancing out of their system. This, of course, made things much worse.
This event has baffled scientists and historians for years, but many believe it could be the result of a particular type of food poisoning.
Yeah, crops like rye can end up growing a type of fungus that basically makes you crazy.
Could it be that this is what's happening at East High?
In the High School Musical universe, the characters, they sing and they dance, and at first you might think this is just like any other musical, artistic depiction of how they're feeling.
But a closer look reveals something shocking.
Well, firstly, sometimes they definitely are actually singing, like at the karaoke party. Now, you might think that a moment like Get Your Head in the Game is totally different. You know, that song doesn't really exist within this universe. But what is Troy's ringtone in the 2nd movie?
But how could an entire school become poisoned by a rare fungus? This man, who convinced us he had relevant qualifications, believes it could have been a certain freaky genius girl.
It could be that by growing a fungus in a lab, Gabriella was able to manufacture a sort of singing and dancing craze to control Troy, who I'm pretty sure would have never done all of that stuff had he not been under some kind of drug-induced hysteria. After all, Troy is so cool and singing is for weirdos. So it could be the fungus, or maybe Gabriella's some kind of fucking witch. The High School Musical bonus soundtrack. You love High School Musical hits like Get Your Head in the Game. Well, now's your chance to own the extended soundtrack, like Coach Bolton's Crisis. What's up, guys? I'm 16. I'm the new player on the basketball team. I'm really excited to play. Yeah, Mr. Bolton, we know it's you. And Gabriella's on the news. A little boy drowned in the pool. Oh no. A little boy drowned in the pool. No. Where was the lifeguard? Having a picnic. And a preview of the finale song from High School Musical 3. We're all friends together with each other. We're all together at the end again. again, and we're friends. We're still friends. And classmates, we go to school together. We learned a lesson, and now we're gonna switch clothes.
Gift from the guy.
High School Musical 2 broke the premiere record that the first High School Musical had just set. Instead of 7 million viewers, this one had 17 million viewers. So of course, they had to make a third one. High School Musical 3, Senior Year. The only one in the franchise with a subtitle. Now, outside of the fact that they're all seniors in this movie, which I can tell by the title of the film, I actually know next to nothing about this one. I've never seen it. Yeah, I know I made it sound like I was a really big High School Musical fan, but by the time the third one came out, I was 14. And unlike the first two, this one came out in theaters. And as a freshman in high school, I was much too embarrassed to ask my friends if they would go see a High School Musical movie in theaters with me. So I decided it would be way less embarrassing if I waited until I was 30 years old to watch it for the first time in front of millions of people. And we're back at East High, baby. Zach's playing basketball. There's a dog in the crowd. Is this an Air Bud crossover? Zach's like, oh, my head's just not in the game tonight. Can we get in the sub? This gold lab comes in and just slam dunks it a couple times. In value than the other two. I'm curious to see the budget on this bad boy. Because this movie looks like they actually, like, lit it. The other two just kind of look like they set up cameras and started filming. But there's lights in this one. So now they're having like the biggest high school rager ever, and they expect us to believe that they're not in. I sense a conflict in the movie. Troy's going to University of Albuquerque to play basketball, and Gabriella is going to learn how to create the singularity at Stanford. So they sing a song about cherishing the present moment. Did they like challenge themselves to make a song with no dancing in this one? They're like, what if we just sat for a whole song? Oop, now he's up. Oh, that was it. That was the whole dance. Nah, it doesn't work with this song. Is University of Albuquerque like a really good school for basketball? I feel like I've never heard of them before. All the basketball players are like, we gotta get to U of A, man. It seems like that's just like the closest college that has a basketball team. Meanwhile, Gabriella's going to Stanford, Sharpay's going to Juilliard, and they're like, I don't know, we can go play basketball down the street. For the record, the reason I've never heard of the University of Albuquerque is because it's a Catholic liberal arts school that actually, closed in 1986 to become a basketball powerhouse.
Mr. Bolton! Mr. Bolton!
Yeah,
All of a sudden, he doesn't know if he wants to go to Juilliard or U of A. See, he really never did care about Gabriella. He just wants to sing. Somebody just let this kid sing. Just tell him it's okay. They're just spending like an unnecessary amount of time being like, these two are in love, okay? Don't forget that they're in love. That way, when whatever happens, we're gonna all be sad, all right? So that way, when Troy picks U of A and Gabriella gets hit by a bus, it's gonna be sad. I think they're gonna end up going to the same college. They couldn't possibly end this entire series by being like, they didn't actually like each other that much. They're just gonna call it quits.
Where's our clothes? Yo, Rocket Man.
Why do I feel like they're about to haze these kids? Yo, this movie's kind of funny, man. Makes me look weird.
Do I want classic or vintage or plaid?
I like that they're like, should I wear plaid or ruffles or a really old suit? And it's like, no, you should wear, just go to Men's Warehouse and ask for a prom tuxedo. Should I wear the ugliest thing that you've ever seen? No, just go. Just tell them you're going to prom and they'll just give you the most generic tux you've ever seen. This reminds me of when I was a senior in high school and I was getting ready to go for prom, and I sang this song called We're Thinking About Going to Prom. We're Troy and Gabriella, we like each other. Also, the stakes feel very low right now. What am I supposed to be worried about right now? Troy is like, I don't know what college I want to go to, and Gabriella's like, I also have choices to make.
I still have decisions to make too.
And she has not elaborated, and so I don't know what I'm supposed to be worried about. Now they're at some kind of junkyard. Just hanging out at a junkyard as if we've always known that this is what they did. Kind of reminds me of senior year in high school when I danced around in the junkyard with my best friend and we sang a song about how the boys are back. It's weirdly similar, actually. Whoa! Whoa! The junk men who live in the junkyard are here. What's going on? What if Troy and Chad turn around and see them and they're like, whoa, what the fuck? Who are you?
Maybe I'll just stay here next year.
I always have to make sense. Why can't sometimes I just say,
What are you gonna tell me about this
Juilliard.
The only dad to ever be pissed off that his son is getting considered for a scholarship at one of the most prestigious colleges in the country.
Hey. Troy, come on.
Ah, damn, he's too fast. Get back here. The director for that scene was like, okay, how could you guys like run away but also walk away at the same time? Oh no, he's going crazy again. Painful basketball time to scream and shoot. Say, we're not going to college, baby. We're gonna stare at this camera forever. And that's it. That's High School Musical, baby. As far as endings go, I think they did a decent job with a nearly impossible task. It's a Disney Channel movie, so it's not like they can just like make everybody break up and go their separate ways at the end of the movie. That would be too sad, obviously. But they also can't make everybody just go to the same college and do the same thing, because that would be unrealistic. So it leaves the door open. My only issue is that in doing that, they kind of don't really provide any closure. Feels like they kind of just pushed Troy's decision of what he wants to do with his life further down the road. But if you are looking for some closure for Troy, I might have something that helps. I mentioned earlier that the character of Troy was inspired by one of the writer's real high school teammates. But when I read that for the first time on Wikipedia, I was surprised to find that that teammate has his own Wikipedia article. And that's because that classmate, Lynn Swan, went on to be a professional football player, playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers and winning the Super Bowl 4 times. This man is the real-life Troy Bolton, and that might be the least interesting thing about him. In fact, he might not even know.
It really helped you in your game. All the things that ballet taught you, you applied that to the football field.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh!
Did you catch any flack from your teammates about taking ballet? I mean...
Oh, always.
It's a gift from the guys.
But I'll always remember a Hall of Famer who rose to the occasion each time. A plie-making playmaker.
But you're a playmaker.
Did you ever think maybe I could be both?
Who could defy gravity.
What's up, Greg? New technology truly fascinates me. A new gadget being introduced to the world has the potential to change the way we live, learn, and communicate. Or, more interestingly, it could flop and become a laughingstock of the internet. Which is why a few weeks ago, I was thrilled to discover the unveiling for a project called the Humane AI Pin. This might be the worst product presentation I've ever seen for one of the strangest products I've ever seen. Apparently, Humane AI is a new tech startup founded by 2 former Apple employees and current lovers, Imran Chowdhury and Bethany Bongiorno. Their mission is building innovative technology that feels familiar, natural, and human. Okay, first thing that's sticking out to me is that none of those words were useful. Also, do I really want my technology to feel more human? I've never wished my MacBook to be more fleshy. Also, Humane AI is such an unsettling name for a company. I'm sorry. You lost me right off the bat. I feel like the only times I ever even hear the word humane is when we're talking about like factory farming or something. Don't worry, dude. When this AI takes over, it is going to be super humane in the way it slaughters us. It will not violate the Geneva Convention, unlike other AIs, Siri. All right, let's go ahead and watch the product presentation and let's see if you think it's as weird as I do.
Welcome to Humane.
Thank you.
This is the Humane AI Pin.
Cool.
It's a standalone device and software platform.
So the intro does have a very threatening aura about it, doesn't it? The sterile white room. They're both so serious and they're unboxing a mysterious device. I feel like I'm about to be tortured for information. Oh. What is that? This is the Humane AI Pin, and it is the last thing you will ever see. Ah!
It's a standalone device and software platform built from the ground up for AI.
Okay, so it's some kind of mobile device. It's built from the ground up for AI, and I'm very excited for them to tell us what that means.
It comes in 3 colorways.
Okay.
Got Eclipse, Lunar, and Equinox.
Those are not colors.
There's 2 pieces, a computer and a battery booster. Now, the battery booster powers a smaller battery inside the main computer.
Okay, great. What does it do?
And this is how we achieve our all-day battery life.
Oh, great. It's got all-day battery life. That way you can spend all day.
There are no wake words, so It's not always listening or always recording. In fact, it doesn't do anything until you engage with it.
Okay, thank God. So it doesn't record me. That's good to know. For a second, I was worried that it almost had one feature. Who is this for? What kind of person needs to hear about what colors a device comes in before they'd even consider hearing about what it actually does? Also, 2 of the colors are black. You designed 3 colors and 2 of them are black. You couldn't come up with a 3rd color? Also, I'm sorry because I know that not everyone is super comfortable in front of a camera. It's not a skill set everyone has. But maybe you guys should have like hired a spokesperson or something instead of letting the world's 2 sleepiest CEOs do this product demo.
The battery booster powers a smaller battery inside the main computer.
Are they okay? This thing has all-day battery life. That's because it actually feeds on your life force. I've had mine on for 3 months, and you probably can't even tell the physical toll it's had on me.
And your engagement comes through your touch, voice, gesture, or the laser ink display.
Whoa, wait, okay. Holy cow. We have a feature. It actually does something. I will admit I was not expecting that. Why didn't you lead with that? I mean, I don't know what that is or what it does, but at least it's something. It looks futuristic. I don't know about the name laser ink display though. That doesn't sound very futuristic.
The laser ink display.
Sounds like a printer.
It also comes with its own connectivity built right in. Our own Humane network, connected by T-Mobile.
Our very own network. That is T-Mobile's network.
We were able to pack a lot of technology into something really small.
Tell me about it, dude. I can barely even count all the technologies you put in this thing. You got the laser ink display, all-day battery, black. Is that a technology? They continue for a while just using buzzwords and vague expressions to explain what this thing does until like 3 minutes into the video when they finally give us a demonstration of something tangible this thing can do.
Play the song How Music Makes You Feel Better.
Doesn't look like it's making him feel better.
We've partnered with Tidal, which you get out of the box.
Okay, finally, we know one thing it can do. It can play music. And not just how you would normally listen to music either. You can give it little riddles to try to figure out what songs you want it to play.
Play music written by Prince, but not performed by Prince.
Give me songs written by first-born left-handed British women who have never been to Ibiza that weren't released on weekends or holidays. Can Alexa do that? I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever tried before.
Got my music controls. If I go to the left, I can go back. If I was to go down, I can pause.
Wow, okay, that actually does look a lot more convenient than using Tidal on my phone, but only because I don't have Tidal on my phone. After this, we do start to get some truly incredible demos using this product's advanced AI.
When is the next eclipse? Where is the best place to see it?
The next total solar eclipse will occur on April 8th, 2024. Best places to see it are Exmouth, Australia, and East Timor.
Huh, that's weird. This NASA article says that that eclipse that's happening on April 8th is actually not going to be visible in Australia. It's only going to be visible from like the US. It actually seems like it's going to be nighttime in Australia during the eclipse. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, they're a technology company. They're not a space company. What would you expect them to know about the moon? They only named all of their colors after it. I hate to interrupt this video, but I have to tell you guys about a revolutionary discovery of my own. I just found out that for the past 2 years, I've been paying for Apple Music despite not having any recollection of ever signing up. I don't use Apple Music, but nevertheless, I've paid them like $200 without ever even having used their service. I think this is a pretty relatable issue in this age of subscription services. And something like this could be happening to you too, but luckily, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. Rocket Money is super helpful with things like my recurring Apple Music charge, because not only does it help you identify recurring charges, it also helps you cancel them. You can actually cancel subscriptions right within Rocket Money's app with just a couple of taps. You don't got to worry about navigating the service's own website. You don't got to worry about pesky customer service calls. Here's why I think this is going to work for you, because Rocket Money has saved its customers an average of $720 a year, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Danny or click the link in the description to get started today for free. And you can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Danny to get started for free. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. And now back to said video.
How much protein?
These almonds have 15 grams of protein.
Great.
Those almonds for sure do not have 15 grams of protein. An entire cup of almonds has 20 grams of protein. This dude was holding like 9 almonds. Did I think he was asking about his whole hand? Because that actually might be accurate.
I'm gonna eat it.
Enjoy it.
Guys, I hate to say it, but I don't think your thing works. You only asked it to do a couple things and it got 2 of them wrong. He does do a demo where he sends a text later in the video and that seems to work.
Tell Andrew I'll be there later tonight.
But to be fair, we never see the person receive the text. I got a weird text from Imran that just says, learned how to go potty big boy style. Interestingly, after people started to realize that all of the information in this demo was wrong, they actually re-uploaded the video pretending that the pin gave the correct answer the entire time.
How much protein?
A half a cup of almonds has 15 grams of protein.
Don't believe it. That's humane propaganda.
The AI pin allows you to shop in the real world. How much is this online?
This is $28 online.
Great. Buy it.
That one is super confusing. It doesn't give you any information on where it's getting that price, where you're buying it from, when it will arrive. I feel like you need to give it at least some specifics, otherwise it's definitely gonna mess up your order. Go ahead and buy this book.
Sending to Sudan.
No, send it here.
You didn't specify. Sending to Sudan.
Shit. Now, if you're wondering how you can get one of these things, the prices range from $700 to $800 for the more expensive colors. And they're estimated to ship in March of 2024. Now, you might be thinking the price of $700 is a little bit high for this thing, but think about it this way. What other product on the market can so accurately tell you how many grams of protein aren't in 9 almonds? Okay, they've also got this little short film about the human experience using their AI pin.
Isn't life about what we experience? What we smell?
Can I eat this? Yes, dragon fruits are low in sugar.
What is this thing, my mom? Can I drink this? Not before you finish your vegetables. And say please next time. What did you just call me? I am your pin, young man. Dude, I want to buy this thing just for that feature. I want to hold every object, creature, and human in front of this thing and ask if I can eat it. Do you need something from me? Can I eat that? Analyzing. Oh, no, you can't eat me. I'm a person, so. High fat content detected. Rude. 1 gram of protein detected. That can't be right. Tiny balls detected. All right, what the hell? Enjoy it. Yes, yummy. Wait, stop. No, you cannot eat me. I'm a human. All right, man, who do you think I'm gonna trust? You or my $700 pin? Last time I checked, this pin doesn't have tiny balls. This thing tells me what to eat, when to eat. It even suggested this very fashionable outfit I'm wearing today. Is that why you're not wearing pants? They're in Sudan.
What we hear?
Hey, what should I get here?
What is this interaction? Who are those people? Does he know them? Man, if he's in a different country where he doesn't speak the language, I would not trust that pin. Based on everything we've seen so far, who knows what it's saying to these people?
What we see?
Capture this.
Dude, parents are gonna love that feature. Me walking around a park with my AI pin. Capture this, baby. Capture. Kidnap this child. So after watching all of this, I have 2 thoughts. The first being, maybe someday this will be like a revolutionary product that changes the way we all interact with each other. Maybe we're just seeing some hiccups now, but a few product generations down the line, this thing is really gonna take off. It'll be more refined. It will know where the moon is. But the second thing is, I have a lot of questions about this product. For one, how is this better than the phones we have now? More specifically, why can't all of the features of this thing just be built into one app in a phone? And what if you don't want to be talking to your chest every time you need to Google something or text someone? Well, this thing started to pick up some traction online, and eventually the founders ended up on CNBC, where the hosts seemed to have a lot of the same questions.
Doing this right now is Imran Chowdhury. He's chairman and president of the company. And Bethany Bongiorno, she's the CEO.
We're also very scared of them. That's why we've sat them as far away from us as we physically can. We actually ordered this giant table when we found out they were coming.
I don't know if can we get the camera so people can see just what we're talking about in case?
Imran, you can't see as much because it's black, so it blends in with your jacket. It's black.
Imran's just sitting there like...
It's Eclipse. It's privacy first, so it's not always recording. It's actually just doing things when you want it on demand.
Is it doing something right now, or are you recording us?
It's not. It's doing nothing right now.
I get a little sense of pride when he says that. It's actually doing nothing right now.
It's doing nothing right now.
After years of research and millions of dollars spent, we finally designed a pin that does nothing.
It's doing nothing right now.
You might think that's a bad thing, but you've never met this AI. It's evil.
Turn around, maybe you can get that on camera.
Oh, yeah. I see your hand. Yes.
Yeah.
I see your hand.
Can you see
What's
that?
Yeah, what's that telling you?
Oh God, dude, I do feel for him. I mean, these people are not like media trained, I feel like. They really should have hired a professional spokesperson because I feel like they're just so out of their depth. He's got like the worst camera angle possible to show this thing off. His hand is shaking. Imagine a little alert pops up on the screen that's like, high heart rate detected. Is Squawkbox the name of this show? I'm not familiar with it. I never heard of this before. Or is this some kind of jab at their device? Formal Apple designers peddle their snake oil Squawkbox.
You can use it however you want.
Like what? Like what? Tell me something you would use that for.
Okay, it sounds like this host is thinking the exact same thing as me. What is it? Tell me one thing. Then they just start like drilling them. They don't even let either of them finish answering their questions. They just like are bombarding them with reasonable questions about this device.
That you've got in, stuff that you do just all the time.
How would I know without seeing a screen?
A user LED called.
So that's what I want to ask you about.
This is brutal, man. Let the poor guy speak. Just at least let him finish answering your questions, man. I mean, he's not actually gonna answer them. He's probably just gonna say AI over and over, but just let him finish his sentence.
Sometimes I'll be at a meeting, right? And I'm sneaking under the desk to look at my email because and I can't say, hey Siri, tell me my email.
I mean, that's actually a really good point. The only way to interact with this device is to talk to it or to use this weird clunky laser jet display, which I don't even think you can type on. So if you want to text someone, you have to say it out loud, which just does not seem practical at all. So is this device gonna revolutionize technology as we know it? There's probably only one way to find out, and that's that I'm gonna have to buy it and review it when it comes out. So let me know if you guys want me to do that, and maybe I will. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. After MGK released his song Emo Girl and then followed it up by appearing in a bunch of insane interviews with Megan Fox talking about their love life, I think we're pretty good on MGK for a while. We don't need any more music. We don't need any more public appearances. We're good. We don't need to know any more about MGK's personal life. And folks, I think MGK finally took notice and he listened. He said, all right, look guys, I get it. No more music, no more interviews. I'm gonna take some time and I'm going to release a stoner comedy movie instead. So he hunkered down and he wrote and directed this movie Good Morning, which currently has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. We got a good thing going here. 2 movies in a row with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. What's the opposite of a Renaissance man? You know how people, when people can like act and sing and direct, like Donald Glover, people call him a Renaissance man. MGK is like a Dark Ages man. MGK is a medieval man. Also, sorry if I sound sick. Sorry. The moment this movie starts, MGK, aka his character London Clash, gets kind of a weird good morning text from his girlfriend Apple.
He's texting me. Oh, it's Apple.
The text say, I wish I didn't have to do this through text, and then good morning, but she spells morning with a U. Now you might think that this would make London a little bit confused, but then realize, oh, it's just a typo. And you'd be right. He does have both of those thoughts. The problem with this movie is that the entire movie takes place between those two things happening. This entire movie is about MGK being confused about what those texts meant. Before he gets too concerned, he has to Google what morning with a U means. He's like, my fans are probably young enough that both of their grandparents are still alive. I should probably explain what morning is.
Well, today should be interesting.
Yeah, they let you know right away that this movie was written by a millennial. Well, today's gonna be kind of weird. MGK wrote the entire movie like this. So this just happened. Yeah, so the conflict at the beginning of this movie is that London thinks that Apple is breaking up with him. That text was a breakup text. Sorry to have to do this through text. Good morning, as in like happy morning our relationship? What kind of person is Apple that he assumes the text good morning means have a good time with your depression now? Look, this relationship isn't working. We're just growing apart. I just feel like you need to have a happy morning now. A happy grieving to you, good sir. When they introduce this character, she better be like wearing a top hat and carrying around a cane. It's gonna make a lot more sense when that happens.
Good morning, good morning.
Today might suck, guys. I'm adulting today. All right, guys, it's time to attend the MGK School of Acting. You're about to step into an ice-cold shower. How do you react when the water hits your body? Shiver! Grab your arms to make yourself warm. Okay, those are good answers. Let's ask Professor Gun Kelly. Ooh, sorry, you guys all get Fs. Your punishment? You have to look at MGK's ass. That is just horrendous. I never wanted to see that.
You know why it sucks when you're going through it with your partner?
You're not going through it with your partner. She sent you one understandable typo, dude. Everything's fine. You're fine.
Yo, does this look like a breakup text to you, or am I tripping?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, take it from the weirdest looking man you've ever seen who falls asleep in his cereal mid-conversation. That's a breakup text. I don't mean to shame this man's appearance. I think Cody Ko looks great here. This is Cody Ko if TMG made hyperpop music. This man has never sent a normal text in his life. I'm surprised he wasn't like, no, that's about as incoherent and cryptic as I usually am in my text. You're probably fine. His friend is clearly sick. At the beginning of the scene, he throws up on the microwave, and at the end of the scene, he drowns in his cereal bowl, and MGK leaves him to die. MGK, your friend is sick. Help him. And so am I. Goddamn. Also, just like a fun little continuity note, at the beginning of this scene, there wasn't a water bottle on the table, and then at the end of the scene, there is. So, that's probably why this movie has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ass continuity. I'm a stickler for details.
Meet Kennedy.
Uh-oh, guys. Megan Fox is here, and she's not like other girls. Megan Fox plays a girl named Kennedy, who's actually not the main love interest in this movie. Her character is actually lesbian, and at the beginning of this movie, MGK explains how, like, she hates boys, but she lives with all these boys, and so she's moving out, which MGK explains right after he forgets his line.
It's in rice.
Come on, you got it, dude. You wrote the movie, you should know it.
Please don't move out.
Yes, he did it. He remembered. It's a pretty long line. I'll cut him some slack. Throughout the beginning of the movie, they're constantly introducing new characters, and every character in this movie has some kind of weird quirk. This friend, like, did too many drugs at a music festival, and now he's kind of loopy. This guy is always throwing water balloons at people. This guy, like, smokes a lot of weed. It seems like MGK wrote this movie with just a bunch of crazy, weird characters, because the only, like, joke that he can think of to put in this movie is another character saying something weird or dumb, and him just kind of looking at them being like, that was kind of weird or dumb.
Mercury is in Everglades.
It's retrograde, Leo.
Every time he introduces a new character, there's narration that explains what the weird quirk about these characters are.
This is Angel. Meet Maxine Goldberg.
But they kind of don't, like, explain really what I want to know about these characters.
This is Dylan. I met him when he was working at In-N-Out, and he used to hook me up with free burgers and shakes. He's been my boy ever since.
We don't care that he used to work at In-N-Out. That is so irrelevant. Please tell us why he's so sick. Why is he throwing up and passing out? That's more interesting. The reason that London Clash is so rich and cool that he lives in Rice Gum's house is that he is an actor. So throughout the movie, he's doing actor type things. Like, he films this self-audition tape. I don't really know what he's auditioning for. It kind of seems like he's auditioning for everything and also nothing all at once.
Okay, this is my impersonation of Draco Malfoy. Looking for drugs.
Where's the pot, Potter?
I don't like Draco very much.
Honestly, this scene is pretty sad. I felt bad watching it. They don't explain what he's supposed to be auditioning for in this self-tape, but whatever it is, Jake Novak has a better chance of getting the role.
I want to be the next SNL cast member.
Now here's where the movie prevents the second conflict. That's right, this movie has two conflicts. The first is he gets that text with the typo, but the second is that today he has the biggest audition of his career. And no, it wasn't that self-tape audition. I guess they just kind of threw that in for goofs. He's auditioning to be the next Batman.
I'm still waiting to hear from my agent about this Batman role.
So, throughout the movie, London is faced with two equally important problems. The first, he has to prepare for the most life-changing, career-making audition of his life. And the second is that he's having a little bit of trouble getting a hold of his girlfriend. The stakes can't get much higher than this, folks. But Danny, can't he just prepare for the audition and then try to get a hold of his girlfriend later that day or tomorrow at the latest? No! They could be dead tomorrow, especially that one guy. He could die any second. They have to do both of them today. This movie kind of feels like a Lele Pons YouTube skit from like 2017, but instead of like 10 minutes long, it's an hour and a half long. From the sound effects to the uncomfortable silence between every spoken line in this movie.
Why would you give me goat milk?
I watched an interview. You said you like Go Milk.
I can't tell if they're using the awkward silence for like comedic effect to like really hammer home that like, these guys are kind of weird. Or if the silence is more just because nobody knows their lines very well. There's another option that they edit in all these pauses in the movie because we're supposed to be laughing at the things that they're saying in the movie. So they added in nice little pauses for us to laugh.
She left with the dude?
A buff dude. And they had bags. And yes, they left together.
In fact, it kind of feels like, have you ever seen people who have edited The Big Bang Theory so that it doesn't have the laugh track to show how like bad all of the jokes are?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Denise, the new assistant manager.
That's kind of what this movie feels like.
Are your eyes all watery?
Because I'm high.
That's way better. Bazunga. It's so fitting that this movie feels like a bad YouTube video from 5 years ago because I'm pretty sure they filmed this at Rice Gum's old house. Did something happen in that house? Is there like a curse? 100 years ago, one of Hollywood's earliest YouTubers died in that house and now all the content that's created there is cursed to be mad disappointing. Okay, so now they got to investigate what's happened to Apple. London's phone is broken, so he can't contact her, so the only thing he can do is go looking for her. So he goes to the last place she was seen and talks to Pete Davidson.
Did you see Apple?
Yeah, she was just here like 2 minutes ago.
Did she say where she was going?
You know what? She did. She actually... No, are you fucking crazy? You guys never talk to me. I mean, the only reason you know my name is because it's on my name tag. Right there. B-E-R-R-Y. Barry.
Pete Davidson feels like he's not really invested in this movie at all. He breaks the fourth wall a little bit too much in this movie. He reads his name tag like he's making fun of the fact that it doesn't say Pete Davidson. He's like, Barry? That's not my real name. My real name's Pete. It's funny because I'm very clearly Pete Davidson and not some guy named Barry who works at a valet stand. There's also a scene later on in the movie where he looks directly into the lens of the camera. I think they could have cut that out. Well, talking to Pete Davidson, sorry, Barry. It's just so funny that he's pretending to be Barry. Talking to Barry didn't get him any leads, so I guess that means now it's time to go to his audition. No, sorry. Sorry, he breaks into Apple's house to find clues?
Find clues, please.
Find clues of what? What might she have left lying around that would indicate whether she made a typo this morning or not? They find a bag of her fingers? She was missing her fingers this morning. That's why she fucked up the tags. Oh. We should probably call the police, right?
I'm not breaking into my girlfriend's house. Can't believe I'm breaking into my girlfriend's house.
Me neither, dude. Your life is pretty crazy. London Clash is so dumb. He makes the worst decisions at every move in this movie, okay? While they're in Apple's house, one of London's friends knocks over every single urn on the mantle and ashes go everywhere. And so they're like, oh shit, we have to put back the urns and then refill the ashes. But they're like, the only problem is, where are we supposed to find ashes? Where are we gonna find enough ashes to fill up these urns? But like, they didn't lose the ashes. They all just fell on the floor. They could just sweep them up and put them back in urns. It's like MGK was like constantly forgetting what previously happened in movies, and so the plot is being driven forward by things that just aren't problems. So anyway, as I said, this is a stoner comedy. You can probably guess the solution they think of to produce a bunch of ashes to fill back up the urns.
I'm a stoner.
Yep. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Ah, bunch of weed. This movie's crazy. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Well, at least this dumbass plan that doesn't make any sense is gonna result in like some crazy shit happening, right? Something funny's bound to happen now, right? Wrong. They just spend like 10 minutes having a boring ass smoke session on the couch. And then one of them tries to talk to a lobster. They really sat around writing this movie and were like, what's the craziest thing that could happen while we're high? And then settled on talking to a lobster. You know, since weed is legalized in a lot of places like California, where they filmed this, I feel like stoner comedies aren't nearly as like interesting or edgy as they used to be. You know, smoking used to be kind of like a fringe culture. It doesn't really feel like this is like, it's like that crazy or funny anymore. This is a scene of 4 adults sitting around a living room and obeying the law.
Why did you spell it like that?
It's a typo.
Oh my god, it was a typo all along? Who would have guessed that? So I guess now the movie can end now, right? The movie can't end now, right? The movie can end now, right? There's 30 minutes left in this movie? What the fuck is gonna happen? What are they gonna do for 30 more minutes? Sit at a diner, apparently. So you're probably wondering how they wrap this whole thing up, huh? MGK missed his audition, he's not getting the role. His girlfriend is pissed off at him. How are they gonna wrap this movie up? Some sort of grand gesture that wins over both the director and the girlfriend? No, obviously not. That would make too much sense. London Clash gets the role because the director happened to see an Instagram live stream where London Clash gets punched in the face by Dennis Rodman, and the director just assumes that London Clash did that because he wanted to like impress him or something. It's a whole other plot line that I didn't really go into in this video, but it doesn't make any sense in the movie either. So he's got the role, now the only thing left is to get the girl, which he does by sending her a text at the diner being like, can we talk? And she's like, sure. And so they're driving to meet each other. He's texting her the whole way. He's texting and driving, and they get into a car crash, and then they are both paralyzed. That face says it all. That just happened. That's the resolution. He almost murders her. Irresponsible. He was texting and driving and he almost murders his girlfriend, and that's how it ends. After the credits roll, there's like a fun little blooper reel where we get to see the actors like messing around and not knowing their lines very well, which would have been a lot more fun if I hadn't felt like I had just watched an hour and a half of exactly that. Well, folks, what do you think? From rapper to pop punk icon to writer, director, and actor extraordinaire, which do you think MGK did best? Leave it in the comments down below. What do you think he'll get up to next? It's anyone's guess at this point. Professional fencer? Or maybe like a chef? He'll start just making food. That might be kind of sick. And you know what? All he would need to get started is HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit and the sponsor of this video. Guys, I love HelloFresh. They send you fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, so you can savor delicious summer flavors right from home. I love getting a HelloFresh box because you know what it means? It means I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat for dinner every night. I'm not gonna find myself driving to some fast food chain to get a quick meal, because I know I've got a quality meal that I can whip up in like 35 minutes right at home. And I know it's gonna be tasty. I know it's gonna be healthy. If you're trying to stick to a particular health goal, HelloFresh has you covered because they have veggie options, fit and wholesome options, and pescatarian options. So HelloFresh fits a variety of lifestyles. Their plans are super flexible. You can pause 1 week if you want to. You can add more food 1 week if you want to. And even if you're on vacation, you can change the delivery address to deliver to your vacation destination. And then you can have home-cooked meals when you're at the family reunion. HelloFresh is the very first carbon-neutral meal kit company, and nearly all of their packaging is recyclable. They help cut down on food waste because they send you pre-portioned ingredients so you're only using what you need. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and have a flavorful summer, then head on over to HelloFresh.com. Use my code TrulyGreg16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's HelloFresh.com. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Now I'm going to do the outro of this video. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my audience here on YouTube. We're the biggest and happiest family on YouTube. That is a scientific fact. Please do not look it up. Please do not fact check me, because facts don't care about your feelings and I don't care about facts. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, Greg. Why are movie studios making bad movies on purpose? I swear to God they are. I'm sure most of us by now have seen clips from the new Pinocchio movie.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
And that had me pretty skeptical, honestly. You're trying to tell me they made it and they were like, the main selling point of this movie is that it will be good? No chance. And now I've recently seen people talking about this movie Marmaduke. It's about a cartoon dog voiced by Pete Davidson. It has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've watched it and it is in fact the worst movie you'll see this year. And it just really seems like they're trying to make bad movies on purpose. This movie is just heinous. It feels like Netflix just like fed an AI a bunch of scripts of bad movies until it spat out Marmaduke. This movie is not good at all. I think it has 0 redeeming qualities, actually. There's nothing good in this movie. I would even give it a negative score if I could. I like that I said that as if there's something stopping me. I'm my own entity. I'm not limited. I don't have a boss telling me I have to give it a positive score. I'm gonna give it a negative 6 out of 10. Begin with a narration from Pete Davidson himself, who could not sound less interested in explaining the exposition of this movie. Marmaduke was some fucking dog, dude. I don't care. I'm dating a Kardashian, man. You think I need this? I personally don't have a problem with Pete Davidson. He's a funny guy. He was not up to the task of being the main character in this movie. This is a cartoon dog. You need someone with like a crazy range. unhinged. Pete Davidson's emotions range from high and pleased down to high and indifferent. That's about all the variety you're gonna get out of Pete Davidson. After watching the movie all the way through, I'm not even 100% sure that Pete Davidson even knows he's in this movie. I haven't seen Pete Davidson do any promotion for this movie. I don't think he's done interviews talking about, you know, getting into the role of Marmaduke. I would not be surprised if they just like took audio excerpts of Pete Davidson from like other TV shows and just like found a way to make a movie about a dog around them. Look at the characters in this first scene here and tell me, what is your reaction? Art is subjective. What you like depends entirely on your life experience, your personal taste, you know, where you were born and raised. For example, I was born in the 1990s on Earth, and I hate every single one of these characters. There are 3 body shapes in the universe of Marmaduke. There is eerily slender, bouncing egg. That's right, they don't walk, the round characters. They just kind of bounce from place to place. And then there's Mom. Mom has a serious case of the Pixar mom syndrome. I guess the creators of Marmaduke decided to take a page out of Pixar's book when designing the mom, and then they ignored all the other pages in the book about like how to make a movie. Anyway, through a little bit of narration, we find out that the reason Marmaduke is not allowed at this party is because he's basically a terror to the family. Marmaduke is a nightmare. He chases the cat, he tackles the local butcher for some bones, he beats the shit out of the dad. This dog is terrorizing his family. This is a bad boy. Guy, being like a world famous dog trainer, sees Marmaduke, this poorly behaved monster, and decides, hey, this would be kind of an interesting challenge for me to transform Marmaduke into like a good boy. At first I thought this guy was gonna be the villain of the movie because he's like rich and British, and I think that it's the law in cartoons that the bad guy has to be rich and British, but this guy is actually, he's not that bad. He's a little greedy, but he's not the bad guy. So Guy goes over to Marmaduke's house and talks to the owners and is like, hey, if you let me train your dog and enter him into like dog competitions, we could win $1 million, and I'll share the $1 million with you, which is actually a very nice thing for a rich British man to do in a cartoon. The family says yes, so Marmaduke gets to train with this experienced, highly awarded, rich and famous dog trainer, and they start training right away. Or actually, sorry, Marmaduke doesn't want to train at all, so the trainer starts beating the shit out of Marmaduke.
It's enough for today.
That's enough for today? You didn't do anything. You just hurt a dog. You didn't teach him any tricks. He doesn't even know how to sit. All right, the first trick we're gonna learn today is how to dodge a punch. Okay, it looks like you didn't get it today, but we'll try again tomorrow, okay, buddy? Anyway, I guess after showing Marmaduke how violent he is and all of his like cool martial arts skills, Marmaduke is like, wait, actually maybe I do want to get trained by this guy. And they make it seem like it's because like Marmaduke is so impressed. I personally think it's because Marmaduke is so scared. He does agree to finally be trained. So cue Marmaduke getting trained montage. Or sorry, Marmaduke getting tortured montage. Yeah, that's right. Before Marmaduke agreed to get trained, Guy just beat the shit out of Marmaduke. But now that Marmaduke has agreed to be trained, he is still getting beat up, but just in new and fancy ways. This movie is essentially about a dog who loves to eat and suffers greatly for it. You know what is one thing that's unclear about this movie? Can Marmaduke talk? Earlier in the movie, Marmaduke was trying to talk to the people and all they could hear was barking sounds.
I think you're being too hard on poor
But then Marmaduke and Guy seem to have full conversations. So who is speaking the other one's language? Is Marmaduke speaking English? Or is the trainer barking at Marmaduke? Like if you were to walk by the park where Guy is training Marmaduke, is Guy just going like, arr, arr, arr? This movie is completely uninterested in answering this question. F farts and he shits and he farts so hard that I thought he might be dying. He gets onto the trophy and like goes from plump to shriveled up like a raisin. He shrivels up into a little doggy skeleton. The dog is very sick. The dog should be rushed to the hospital immediately after this, actually. The cloud of his fart gas like envelops the entire crowd. People are screaming. I think he might have killed people, honestly. This is just an awful scene. I don't know why the writers thought that this would be fun for anyone, even for kids. It's like, is your dog pooping in the wrong spot ever that funny? I don't think I've ever like come home and my dog is like pooped somewhere she wasn't supposed to and been like, that's hilarious. That's actually good one, Sunday. Dude, you fucking killed it. I should be mad, but that's actually mad funny. To be fair, if I did have like a comically big trophy in my house and I came home and the dog had pooped in the trophy, that actually might be kind of funny. But not if she was also like sitting on top of the trophy as like a shriveled up skeleton and my house was full of noxious gas.
That was a disgrace.
This movie's getting kind of dark. This is a really somber, like, middle section of a children's movie. He's not a loser! It just turns into Marriage Story. Marmaduke is a Great Dane! Then come to find out that the trainer has actually billed them for all of the training, and it's like a shit ton of money. They go through the list, and it rolls by in this like Star Wars style credit roll, and it's meant to fly by really fast so you can't read anything, but I paused it just to like look through what some of it is. Some of the items on this list are more than the $1 million they would have won at the final dog show. There's things for $29,000, $35,000, $1.4 million. Also kind of a funny detail, the writers I guess couldn't come up with enough things to actually make the list that long, so they just literally copied and pasted the same chunk over and over. So if you just play it, you'll see like the same thing worth $1.5 million over and over in this list, and it's like you couldn't just keep coming up with different champions. So Marmaduke is like, you know what, screw it, I don't need you, and he decides to set off on a journey to show him what a real champion can do. He runs to China, and then he runs to Egypt, and then he swims in the ocean, and then he goes home. And I guess that's pretty much all the training he needs. I don't know why he is still so focused on the dog show after that. Marmaduke's like, yeah, I climbed to the top of Mount Everest and then swam to the bottom of the ocean so that I could hopefully compete in an obedience competition at a regional level. I hope that I do okay. It's like, no, all of the things you did just then are like infinitely more impressive than a dog show. At least that's what I thought until we get to the dog show and we see what other dogs do during the talent portion. Okay, so the bulldog is winning the talent competition. The bulldog is winning the whole show. Forget about the other dogs for a second. There is no way that Marmaduke can do anything near that impressive. I know he ran around the world, but he just ran and swam. This dog lifted up a convention center. The other dog's not quite as impressive. One of the dogs dances, pretty lame. And another dog did like a half fight, half rap in like a magical bubble environment. So that was pretty cool. I didn't know there was magic in this universe. They just decided to spring that on us in the last like 20 minutes of the movie, but I just don't understand how they were able to continue the competition after the bulldog lifted up the building. If I was in the crowd, I would be on my hands and knees crying after that. I don't think that it's fair to continue the show. Okay, Zeus actually hypnotizes the crowd. That's actually pretty impressive. Yet another use of magic. I like that they're really doubling down on that in the third act of this movie. Also, I'm getting a lot of parallels from the Disney Channel original movie Zapped in this movie, although I don't think anyone beat the shit out of a dog in that movie. Also, hang on a second. If hypnosis exists in this universe and it is like a thing that can be done effectively, why the hell did the trainer need to beat the fuck out of Marmaduke? If in this world it's possible to mentally make a dog do whatever you want, what sick thrill did Guy get out of assaulting Marmaduke? It's almost like that wasn't even training, and he just like, what if he did hypnotize him and then he was like, and now the rest of this is just for me. Anyway, it's time for Marmaduke's portion of the talent show. Now, everything else up until this point is so insane that like anything Marmaduke could do, even if he did something really cool, would be kind of underwhelming. But like, even with that in mind, Marmaduke just does the dumbest shit. His boy owner gets on his back and they just like run around the stadium. I'm sorry, Marmaduke, but that was not impressive at all. We literally all just saw magic happen. We saw a bulldog lift up a building. I know I keep mentioning that, but that was insane. We all just saw an entire crowd get hypnotized by a creepy blonde dog, and Marmaduke's like, yeah, but can you do this? Are you trying to bankrupt your family, Marmaduke? Because that's what's gonna happen if you keep this shit up. Are you trying to destroy your family's lives? You're going to. Keep dicking around on the ground like that with no talent, and you're gonna destroy their lives. It's happened before, it'll happen again. Okay, a little plot twist happens at the end of the dog show. Zeus, the beautiful dog, wins. Obviously, he hypnotized the judges, so we kind of thought that was gonna happen anyway, but it turns out that one of the judges is actually Zeus's trainer in disguise, so he gets disqualified from the talent competition. I kind of feel like it was pretty dumb of him to do that because he had a shot at winning anyway. It's not like he was like a total underdog. Dude was basically an overdog. He was actually bound to win. He hypnotized everybody. Pete Davidson, 40 seconds to write this song. All right, Pete, it's time to record the ending song. What ending song? You guys didn't tell me there was gonna be an ending song. I don't know, man. You tell us. Hit it. All right, well, yeah, that's Marmaduke. Let me know what you thought, and now it's time to talk about our sponsor. Hello. Guys, did you know in the US it's legal for your internet service provider to sell your data to other companies? They can sell it to ad companies. Heck, they can sell it to whoever they want. This seems pretty screwed up to me. I don't know why this is legal, but what I do know is that Marmaduke is probably responsible. Luckily, today's sponsor, ExpressVPN, puts a stop to this by rerouting 100% of your network traffic through their secure encrypted servers. Those are servers that are both secure and encrypted. ExpressVPN also masks your device's unique IP address, making it much more difficult for like big tech companies or advertisers or really strong dogs from tracking you and matching your activity back to you so they can collect your data. There's a ton of great reasons to use ExpressVPN. You can unblock content that's not available in your country. For example, the movie Whiplash is not available on Netflix in the US, but with ExpressVPN, if you change your server location to the UK, it is available. They have 24/7 customer support, the fastest speeds, consistently faster than other VPNs, and it's easy to use. You can fire it up and get going with just one click. I've got ExpressVPN on my computer and my phone, pretty much every device that can have it in my house. So find out how you can get 3 months for free by visiting expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. Thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out our sponsor. Please get out from under my desk. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Is that in focus at all? Greg, join Greg. Greg is what I call my fans here on YouTube, my fan base, my audience. But we're more than that, you know? We're a family, we're an army. We are one guy named Greg. So if you want to join, then turn on my notifications and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of A Grown Man Spends 20 minutes making fun of a movie for kids. You may have noticed something a little bit different. There's a microphone in the frame. I got a new stand for my microphone, and apparently the only way I can get it like close enough to me is by having it slightly in frame. So I hope this isn't super distracting. This would be kind of a crazy way for like one of those faceless YouTubers to film videos.
What's up, guys?
So today we're going to be talking about Zapped. And after watching this movie, I'm starting to think that the writers of Disney Channel original movies are not capable of writing a movie that's not about a teenager trying to control the opposite sex and mold them and craft them to their liking. You got Pixel Perfect, a movie about creating like the perfect girl pop star. How to Build a Better Boy, pretty self-explanatory in the title on that one. And then you got this movie Zapped, which is about Zendaya discovering that her dog training app can actually train boys to obey. Sorry? It can train boys to obey her every command. It's not actually Zendaya. She's not playing herself. It's Zendaya's playing a character named Zoe. I think that's probably pretty clear, but I just wanted to clear that up. This movie is full of dark magic. I'm convinced of it. There's something deeply sinister going on in this movie. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna figure it out. Let's go ahead and watch it. The movie starts out with Zendaya's character Zoe giving a maid of honor speech at her mom's wedding. She's marrying this new guy, so her family is about to be merged with his family. So it's Zendaya and her mom, and then this man and his 3 sons. So it's like a family of women mixing with a family of men, which makes a lot of sense because as we know, women give birth to girls and men give birth to boys.
First off, I just want to say how happy I am that my mom has finally found love again. She is the most giving person I know.
Her speech starts off sweet, but then she immediately just starts like kind of complaining about having to live with 4 new guys because they're stinky.
4 guys and their mysterious odors that they always blame on the dog.
Yeah, she sort of takes the opportunity to complain and just make her mom, I guess, like feel bad for marrying a guy. It's the happiest day of her mother's life. And also this guy, her new stepdad, is the happiest day of his life. And her speech is like, I hate my new family, my new stinky family. And this wedding will certainly ruin my life. To make matters even worse, towards the end of her speech, the boys lose control of their pet dog, who is at their wedding for some reason. They lose control of the dog, and the dog goes crazy and knocks like a chocolate fondue fountain all over Zendaya. And at this moment, I couldn't help but remember that Zendaya's character in Euphoria is supposed to be the same age as Zendaya's character in this movie, and their lives are drastically different. Throughout this movie, you will find that the characters are like super weird. They're like caricatures of people that don't exist in real life. And to show how much it's gonna suck really living with the boys, the writers of this movie decided to have the next day start with Zendaya's new stepdad screaming in the hallways, getting everybody ready for school. But then when he sees Zendaya come out of her room, he like doesn't know how to talk to her.
Hey, morning, sport.
I mean,
Hi, girl. Hi, girl.
It's like, dude, you're 50. Have you never talked to a girl before? The movie then establishes why each one of the new guys that she lives with is like gross in some way. One of her little brothers is really messy. The other one's always like cooking gross stuff. Which is like a weird character trait. I get the messy younger brother, but like the gross cooking younger brother, is that a thing? Is that something I'm supposed to be able to relate to? And then the oldest of the brothers is like always frantically running around. He's like always late for something. He's really scatterbrained.
My pants. Where are my pants? Where are my pants? Where are my pants?
Okay, excuse me, can we just establish a few ground rules here? You're not wearing pants. Please stay out of my personal space bubble.
Look, Zoe, I have morning basketball practice, and then a players meeting, and then a captain's meeting, and then even more practicing.
Kind of weird to respond to a request about like not invading my personal space when you're not wearing pants by saying like, but Zoe, I've got basketball practice. Like he fully like bumps his butt on her while getting ready in his underwear, and she's like, can you not do that? And he's like, sorry, sometimes when you're busy you just gotta rub up on your stepsis in your underwear. What don't you get? I'm in many extracurricular clubs, okay? Along with moving into a new house with all these boys, she also starts attending her new school, which is the school that her brother goes to. And you know how in Disney movies there's always like the distinct cliques, like there's the popular crowd and then there's like the stoners, but they never say stoners in the Disney movie. They're just kind of like, these are like the kids who wear jean jackets. This movie has the most insane high school posses ever. You got the skateboard boys. Okay, that's pretty normal. The next group she sees are the shirtless workout boys. And then just the straight up stinky boys, where the only like defining characteristic is that they're dirty, flea-ridden, smelly boys. You can hear like flies flying around them. What clique is this supposed to be in high school? And then there's the popular group, one of whom is also pretty stinky himself, actually.
The Tripster? The Tripathon? It's me. I'm Trip.
Oh.
Bart Bomb.
Oh.
The movie sort of writes this off as like, well, this is just something boys do, you know? New school, you gotta kind of accept what boys come with it, you know? Boys will be boys. No, that is actually not what boys do. That is something that just one very specific boy does.
It's me. I'm Trip.
And he needs to be stopped. I cannot remember a single moment in high school where a boy walked up to a girl, let alone like the new girl who's already like scared and doesn't know anyone and is like, hey, I'm gonna fart in your face now. Welcome to the school, smell my ass. But it's not all bad though. She does make a friend on her very first day. And in typical Disney Channel movie fashion, she is wearing a fedora. Every Disney Channel movie has to have a token fedora blazer wearing character.
But the boys here are cute, aren't they? All of them. I think we have the highest percentage of cute boys in the entire greater Westlake area.
Unlike Zoe though, she actually kind of likes the boys at the school. She's like, sure, they may have their flaws, but they're pretty cute.
Wow, you seem a little...
Oh, boy crazy? Yeah, that's the official diagnosis.
Hold up, this girl has a picture of a boy that goes to her school in her locker? Is that a thing? I remember in like middle school, girls would have pictures of like celebrity boys in their locker. Imagine seeing a picture of you in somebody else's locker. I'd feel like I was being hunted. It's weird to have his picture in your locker. It's even weirder in the movie when we find out that she also actually has pictures of him printed out on her pillows in her bed. Gulp. That's scary. Imagine if they start dating, she's like FaceTiming him in bed, and she like accidentally tilts the camera a little bit to the side, and he just sees his own face next to her. Wait, what was that? Is that me? Of course, Zoe does have a love interest in this movie, and he is introduced early on. It's this guy. Every boy in the movie is depicted in a negative light except this guy, because this guy, he's not like other guys.
Mr. Kale, pay attention. There will be a quiz on the praying mantis. Sphodromantis viridis, carnivorous member of the phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta.
Wow, he really is different than all the other guys. He knows about praying mantises. Most guys around this school don't know shit about bugs. Yeah, the movie really seems to depict this guy as like the way that guys should be. Guys shouldn't be stinky and messy, okay? Guys should wear beanies and sunglasses and know shit about bugs and be 35. I know I talk about this in like every Disney Channel original movie video that I make, but this guy literally looks like he's 30. Maybe he was held back for being too cool or not not being stinky enough. That seems to be a requirement at the school. He went on stage to accept his diploma and they shook his hand and they were like, wait a minute, why isn't your hand sticky? Actually, there's no flies flying around you. Get out of here, dude. Back to freshman year.
No wonder you do the silent lone wolf sunglass rebel thing. Oh, it's pancake mishap this morning.
No, I'm not looking at that.
Okay, well then what are you looking at?
I'm looking at you.
Creepy. Stops in the middle of the hallway just to stare her down.
I think I've got you figured out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This just comes off as creepy to me. I guess this is supposed to be romantic, but it's not really romantic to me. Just scary.
I can see inside you.
Another one of the plot lines in this movie is that Zoe wants to join the dance team, but the girl who runs the dance team is like the popular mean girl. She doesn't want Zoe on the dance team because she's too good at dancing and it's gonna make her look bad or something. Anyway, by now you're probably wondering, when the frick does this app thing happen, right? When the frick does Zoe discover that the dog training app works on boys? Well, at first, it doesn't. Zoe's just trying to train the family dog because it's all just like the rest of the boys in the house. It's stinky. Gross. And it like destroys her room and shit. Breaks this thing that her dad gave to her. She downloads this app called Listen and Obey, which is kind of an ominous sounding app.
Sit. Shake.
Right away, this app is already clearly cursed with dark magic, right? And the dog can even tell too, because you know what the dog does the second he realizes what's going on? He grabs her phone and runs off with it and tries to destroy it, presumably to break the curse. And then what happens next is honestly the most confusing part of the movie, okay? So the dog drops the phone in the bath. Her brother gets it out and tries to swing it around to get the water out of it. It flies out the window, swings around a satellite dish, slides down a solar panel, and lands in dog food. And from here on out, that app is now able to control boys. Any man or boy this app can control against their will.
Sit.
And at first, while watching this movie, I didn't even think it was that weird. I didn't even give it a second thought. I was just like, okay, yeah, so something magical happened and now it can control boys. That makes sense. But like, what? What happened to the phone? I don't understand how solar panels and satellite dish changes the app from dog-based to man-based. Like, you'd think at the very least something having to do with like men would happen to the phone. Like the phone lands in like a bucket of buffalo wings or like flies through a football field. I'm just curious to know if that fucked up other apps on the phone or if it's just the dog training app. Now, whenever a boy likes one of my tweets, he goes into a coma for 3 years. And don't even get me started on the weather app, because every time I check that, boys start falling from the sky. Anyway, let's just say now that she's got the ability to control boys, she has a little bit of fun.
Boys are acting weird.
Dude, he farted twice in midair in such rapid succession. They added in 2 fart sound effects. Kind of impressive. I'm trying to imagine how she's gonna use the app to get herself out of this one. Stop farting. Take it back. Take the fart back. Suck it back up into your ass. Oh, how am I doing this? But no, she just uses the app to utterly humiliate him in front of his friends.
Go to the bathroom. Oh, wait, no, not here.
I'm still confused about some of these clicks, by the way. Like, what are these nerdy kids supposed to be? Look at this kid in the green sweater. How he acts when nobody high-fives him. What is that acting?
I guess your dog app doesn't work on girls. Maybe because girls aren't dog-like enough. They're too catty.
Ah, that's funny. Girls are catty. What the fuck does that mean? Boys are dog-like? What the hell? I mean, I guess in this universe they kind of are. They're like flea-ridden, mangy boys.
Why do we smell like we smell?
So pretty much like the majority of this movie is just Zoe using the app to like get what she wants and make all the boys at the school act exactly how she wants them to. She turns the skater boys into gentlemen. She goes up to the nerdy gamer kids and tells them to like go do yoga instead of playing video games.
Let's go do some yoga.
And her brothers, dude, don't even get me started on what she does to her poor brothers. I'm taking the brothers' side, all right? They did nothing wrong. Her poor brothers were just living their lives until Zoe moved in and tries to fix them.
Be clean.
Holy moly, it's filthy in here.
Her messy brother, she tells to be more clean, which turns him into this like hyper-hygienic husk of his former self.
I need a sponge and soap and paper towels and a power washer.
For the rest of the movie, he's literally he's scrubbing everything frantically in a panic. Anytime there's a mess, he's like, I gotta clean it up. She tells the gross cooking boy to cook less gross stuff.
Start making less gross food.
So he's like cooking 5-star meals for the rest of the movie. And then the oldest brother, she tells him to be more focused.
Be focused.
Lampshade.
The boy is just like focused on inanimate objects for the rest of the movie. He's just like staring at a lamp or at the basketball net. She turns her own family into like mindless zombies and she's like, this is better. This is nice. It's creepy, dude. It's eerie, this movie. In all honesty, dude, this show walked so that WandaVision could run. This is basically WandaVision. In fact, since they're both owned by Disney, I wouldn't be surprised if this was in the same universe. This is like a prequel to WandaVision. This is where she gets the idea. It's kind of funny how low the stakes are considering the power that she holds. She could like take over Wall Street. She could get rich. She could make anybody do what she wants. Any man. She could fix every war. Create world peace. In fact, I think her friend says that at one point in the movie. She's like, we could end every war with this. And Zoe's just like, yeah, we could, but I simply will not. I think it's more important that my brother stares at a lamp for the rest of his life. That's kind of the shit I'm on.
Things aren't nearly as terrible as they were. Then again, I'm talking to a dog, so I might just be losing my mind.
Hey, smartphone.
In this scene, there's a little bit more development with the love interest. Zoe runs into him reading alone in the park.
Oh, what are you reading? Oh, no, let me guess. The Cool Guy's Guide to Wearing Sunglasses Inside.
It's close. To Kill a Mockingbird.
I feel like when he holds up that book, we're supposed to be like, wow, he really is not like other guys. Except that, like, that is required reading in most high schools, so he actually is like other guys. He's like every other guy. To Kill a Mockingbird's sort of my favorite book. My second favorite is The Great Gatsby. Third favorite is Geometry 101. I just love to read, what can I say? Eventually things start to get a little crazy at school, and Zoe realizes that she probably shouldn't be controlling people like this anymore. People are getting into fights and stuff because the new cliques at school are just like not meshing well. So Zoe's like, all right, I'll just make them stop. And she tells the app to stop. And then of course, everybody just stands still and freezes. And so she's like, oh no, I can't reverse the commands. If I tell them to stop, they're just gonna literally stop. And so then like many more days go by and she's just like, well, I guess I can never reverse the thing. And it's like, well, what if you just said, hey, ignore all the commands I gave you, instead of just saying stop and being like, oh, it didn't work. The movie continues to get even more dark to like a startling point. There's a creepy ass scene where the whole JV dance team wants to resign because they don't like dancing anymore. And Zoe's like, how about I use the app to make you dance instead? And so there's just a scene of them all like sadly dancing because their hearts aren't in it, but they are being like physically forced to dance. And the movie even goes so far as to make Zoe force the love interest to kiss her with the app.
Kiss me.
She just forced a guy to kiss her. Disney, what are we doing here, dude? What's going on? We need to have a talk with the writers of these movies. Anyway, Zoe feels bad after this, and she gets all stressed because there is a college scout coming to the basketball game. But Zoe's brother obviously isn't playing very well because the only thing he can do is like stare at an object for hours at a time.
Welcome to a new season of Husky basketball. The Huskies have been struggling with practice, and there's a college scout in the stands. So tonight's game could be a nail-biter.
I like that the scout is writing stuff before the game even starts. What do you think he's writing? Ball round, court shiny, boys stinky. Just as the beginning of the movie made no sense, the ending also makes no sense. The phone falls into the wrong hands. The popular girl figures out that Zoe is using it to control people. I don't know how she figures it out. She just like sees Zoe holding it during dance practice and she's like, she's holding her phone while dancing? She must be using mind control. I gotta get that phone. Anyway, she steals the phone. At the basketball game, she just like starts making everybody obey her every command.
Bow down to me.
In order to get the phone back, Zoe's like, how about I just do whatever you want?
I'll do anything you want. Just say the command. Pants.
And then this happens.
Roll over. How did you?
I'm your brother. We stick together.
Sorry, what? He just broke the curse. Like the spell that everyone is under. He just like got up and he's like, I'll do it with you. I'm your brother. Don't worry about it. It's like, I'm sorry, is that what breaks the curse? Being a brother? Being her brother? And then eventually like her whole family is able to resist the app and get on the ground with her and start doing it. And it embarrasses the popular girl. And they, like the only explanation for it is this.
Why isn't this working? Because everyone knows. You can never make a dog turn against its own pack.
The rules to this movie, the lore does not make sense. I guess that's just how Disney Channel movies go. In the end, everyone sort of learns that like, hey, girls have things that girls do that are weird to boys, and boys do things that are weird to girls. And that's just how we need to leave it. Which in some sense I would agree with, Not in this movie, though. The boys are disgusting in this movie. They need to change something about themselves. I think that there could be some middle ground between her mind controlling them and them just being utterly repulsive. Anyway, the moral of the story is like Zoe realizes that she is not God and should not have unilateral control over everyone's lives, and they all live happily ever after. Well, guys, we may never be able to control boys using our smartphones, but you know what we can control? Our money. Thanks to today's sponsor, Current. Do a flip. Do a backflip. Sit. Speak.
I love you, Father.
Good boy. That's right, guys. Today's video has been sponsored by Current. Current is the future of mobile banking. You guys have heard me talk about how awesome Current is before, how flexible they are, how transparent they are with things like no hidden fees. But today, I've got something new to talk about, and that's interest. Because Current just launched a new feature called Interest where you can earn 4% APY on your money. That's 4% for your money literally just sitting there. That's right, you don't gotta be throwing money at the stock market or buying NFTs and investing in cryptocurrency to get some return on your money. With Current's interest feature, you literally just get 4% for your money just sitting there. And as if that's not already enough reason to start using Current, I am once again going to be giving away $5,000 with Current's help. So go ahead, download Current, make an account, use the code DANNYINTEREST for a chance to win, and so you don't miss out on that 4%. Signing up for Current is totally free to do. You can do it right now. So honestly, there's really no reason not to. All right, well, thank you to Current for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Current. They've been a long-time sponsor of the channel. They've helped me do some amazing things, so make sure you check them out, and goodbye. Bye. All right, guys, I'll admit I am very late to this topic, potentially even like a month late, depending on when this video comes out, but in my defense, I'm a dad now, all right? I have a baby. He's 5 months old. I have better things to do than sitting here talking to a camera alone in my room. Like watching Jason Nash live stream on TikTok. All right, Sandra, thank you for the money. Kevin, thank you for the money. Can you guys send me like a teenage child and something awkward or scary happening with that child? And also you have to look really badass and you do have to be part dog. Got it, can do. Before I film this one, I actually have a much more important POV I need to film first. POV, that moment when you're sponsored by Opera. Opera makes other browsers look like that evil boy in that last TikTok. All alone and useless. Meanwhile, Opera looks like the family because Opera has so many useful features built in that it's so much more than just a browser. You've got Aria, Opera's native browser AI, which lets you get clear answers instantly. Highlight any term on the web and ask Aria to explain it. The great thing is Aria is connected to the web and can provide real-time information, unlike a lot of other AI models. Tab islands are huge for helping me stay organized while I'm working on a video. If I have several TikToks open, a couple of Google Docs, email, I can collapse them into context-based groups automatically. I don't know what accent this is supposed to be. One thing I didn't even realize I needed until I got Opera was a built-in ad blocker. It makes articles look so much more clean, which actually makes my videos look better, because when I screen record an article, there's not distracting ads all over the place. And it's super easy to turn on with just one click. If you're working on multiple projects at once, you can create entirely separate workspaces that you can switch between easily using customizable buttons on the sidebar. I don't like having a ton of browser windows open at the same time. It's super distracting and hard to sort through. So in my opinion, this is a much better solution. So if you want to check out Opera, then use my link below to download Opera today. Thanks to Opera for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Opera. Now let's film this TikTok. Okay, so I've been thinking a lot about how I could make this TikTok kind of my own, you know? Take everything I like about the toxic daughter boyfriend TikTok and amplify it. So first thing we're gonna do is the amount of family that shows up. I liked how much it was in the first video. We're gonna double it. We're just gonna have a ton of people show up. We're gonna have the dad, of course, the brother, an uncle. Uncle's here! A second cousin, a third niece, maybe. Also, I think instead of like a toxic boyfriend, the daughter's just gonna be getting mugged. I think that would elevate the stakes a little bit higher. And then, you know, in the original TikTok, they didn't even turn into werewolves. Their eyes just turned blue, which, granted, that would be very scary if that happened to you, but I feel like they were trying to get at something there, but they didn't quite get there. So, in my TikTok, they're gonna actually turn into animals because there's filters on the TikTok that can turn you into animals. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna do it now. So I think what would be even cooler than turning into a wolf is if I turn into a horse. And I know that there's horse filters on TikTok. I have one saved here, where if you open your mouth, you turn into a horse. So I'm gonna use this. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. I look gorgeous. And then everyone just starts turning into horses, dude. The daughter turns into a horse. Uncle's gotta turn into a horse. And last but not least, the mugger has to apologize, of course. Let's go, baby. Now all I have to do is edit this, and it's gonna be ready to go. Now this dad is a whole different type of dad. His name is Brian B. Toe. I thought Toe might be his last name, but the way it's spelled out in his profile actually makes it seem like Buteau is his last name. I thought B was just his middle initial till I saw this just now. Say what you want about Brian, but he do be Toe. And I think there's a lot we can learn from Brian's TikTok. Stuck in a generation where loyalty is just a tattoo and being fake is a lifestyle. Where the real ones at? Man, Brian's so cool. I thought he was a teenager for a second because of how cool he's dressed. Hey guys, I'm just skateboarding with my backpack to school. I mean work. I hope my teacher is cool today. Oh, I mean boss. Sorry, I'm just a kid at heart. Also, I just got in a really bad skateboarding accident and hit my head real bad. Can you drive me to the hospital? I don't like this angle. Why is he so much higher up than us? Are we a child in this video? Are we his child?
Son, where are the real ones? What have you done with the real ones, son?
I'm not even sure how the caption and the video are related. They seem like totally separate things. I'm so sick of my generation. So I've decided to join yours. I'm a teenager now. In fact, I'm so young that my kids are my... All right. Now, obviously, I don't like this video. I don't like it one bit. But I'm mature enough to realize that I'm not the target demographic for this video. This video is for MILFs. And I'm not a MILF. I'm at most a dill. I'm just a dad you would like. And the MILFs in the comments are loving it. Yes, you still got it. Where you been all my life? Damn, my kind of guy. More power to him, I guess. The one thing that I can't get over is the setting in which he's making this video. Are you in public? It looks like he's just in the lobby of a hotel making the absolute thirstiest video I've ever seen. You need to get to your room ASAP, dude. You are too horny to be in public. I like this guy in the background. The second he realizes he's in this video, he steps out of frame because he's like, oop, I can't be in this. Oop, get me out of here. This guy's too horny. The caption is still got it, which is a little confusing to me because usually you would say that about something you used to do when you were young. Brian, did you used to do this when you were young? They didn't have iPhones back then. Who were you doing this to, man? The reason so many people are single and not in relationships today is because we're looking for that 90s love in a 2023's hookup culture. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, man, that's fine. Where are you? What's going on in the background here? I'm looking for that 90s love. The kind of girl that doesn't just want to hook up, but wants to go on a date to the giant dirt pile in town. I love that dirt pile. I wish I could date the dirt pile, but she's taken. Hey, get out of here! She's mine! Okay, this is good research. I feel like I'm starting to get what this guy is all about. It's a lot of like pouring your heart out on the internet. Some of it could possibly be on the verge of oversharing, but he's expressing his feelings. He's looking badass while he's doing it. It's like this emotional vulnerability mixed with this cool, mysterious bravado of being alone at the giant dirt pile.
Oh, 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 yeah. Da, da, da. I gotta know.
Okay, no, that's cool, man. Look, I obviously think that, you know, that's kind of a scary joke to make, but again, this video isn't for me. Oh, uh-oh. Oh God, Brian, the MILFs aren't liking it either. This guy is not funny. My first reaction, ew. Brian, you're scaring the MILFs, man. So I'm unaware of any gigantic piles of dirt near where I live. If there are any, I guess I'm just not cool enough to know where they are. So I'm here at the woods. Figured that would be an equally strange location to film this TikTok. So we've got strange location, the woods. We're going to have sort of a nostalgic / oversharing caption, which I'm still not sure what that's gonna be yet, but I can just figure that out while I'm editing it. I don't have to do that now. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the video, which is good. And then I also have to appeal to the youth. I have to try to make myself seem like a kid, which usually I'm not very good at, but I went to Walmart and I went to the kids section and I found some stuff that I think is gonna do the trick. Brian had a skateboard in his video, and so I bought a Well, I bought a scooter. They didn't have any skateboards. I don't know if this is maybe a little bit too young for the demographic I'm trying to reach, but the box said ages 2 to 5. So I'm just gonna sort of pretend to be shredding it up out here at the beginning of the TikTok. By the way, I am like 75% sure that there's poison ivy under my feet right now that I'm very much trying to avoid. And I think I have, but my legs just feel itchy even just being near it. This was actually a horrible idea. Anyway, the hat. It says Fortnite on it. Can you see that? It says Fortnite on it. I found it at Walmart in the little boys section and I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is gonna appeal to all the kids. So I've got my scooter, I've got my Fortnite, and I'm ready to have some fun. Let's film a TikTok. Okay, I think I'll just pretend to be ripping it up over here and then I walk towards the camera, all cool. I for sure stepped in the poison ivy that time. Very cool. Why does this hat make me look like a pilgrim? It's like such a flat brim hat that it's gone past looking cool and gone towards looking like a full-on pilgrim hat. I am a Fortnite. This one's just kind of a fun one. It's just a picture Shaq posted with like 20 seconds of music and then 20 seconds of silence. I don't know. Could be the move. All right, this TikTok is by a dad by the name of My Life, not yours. So in case you were confused, this isn't you. Yes, dude, thank you. This is the kind of energy I'm looking for. When your kids need you, you drop everything. And you don't walk, you don't run, you don't even drive. You jump through the air like a giant bunny and you land right where they are. I guess we don't see where he lands. It would be kind of funny if it like cut to a reverse angle and he just landed at the bar. But one TikTok in, I am liking this guy's style. So I guess the way I describe this dad is like action hero dad, the mystical sorcerer dad. Either way, he's killing it, and I really like his vibe. He's always getting himself into insane situations like this one.
Happy Easter, everyone.
So funny about how nonchalantly he says Happy Easter and then teleports himself into the UFO and kamikazes himself. Like, did he know that was gonna happen? Based on how chill he was, I kind of feel like he didn't. Happy Easter, guys. Oh, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck? Ah! You know, I started watching this guy because he mentioned his kids and I was like, oh cool, dad content. But in hindsight, he actually doesn't mention his kids very often. So I guess they don't need help that often because that's the only reason he mentioned them in the first video. He's actually kind of got a lot of other shit going on. He's always defending the earth from some kind of cosmic threat, it seems. And after all these TikToks where he's harnessing magical powers and defending the earth, you'd think that his kids would have some pretty nice stuff to say about him, right? You'd think they'd be pretty grateful, huh? Wrong. As dads, you know, we give and we give, but are we ever truly appreciated? No. My 7-month-old baby did the same thing to me. I was floating around in the spirit realm forever. It took me days to get back into my body. To take a step back for a second here, can we all appreciate how epic his editing is? I mean, this is pretty good. Also, the first time I saw this, I was like, holy shit, how high did this dude jump for this video? This man may be old, but he's still got it. But after watching it a couple times, I think that he's reversed the video and he's jumping off of something high onto the ground. Either that or this whole thing's real. I can't discount that possibility. I like this guy's videos a lot because I feel like we actually are cut from the same cloth in a way. I have always been obsessed with visual effects. I had a YouTube channel for this kind of stuff when I was a teenager. I would do this type of stuff, practice visual effects. I would do tutorials for effects.
Hey everybody, this is Danny Gonzalez, and today I'm going to be doing an After Effects tutorial.
I would watch every behind the scenes of like blockbuster movies that I could get my hands on. So I admire this dad's passion. It kind of takes me back in my own life to a simpler time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm pretty excited for this one. My favorite of his TikToks was the UFO one, so that's the one that I want to replicate. I'm gonna have like a UFO or a giant spaceship in the background right here. I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna teleport onto the spaceship and blow it up or something. One thing I really want to replicate is how casually he did it. Like he didn't even know that it was about to happen. I think I just want to kind of like casually stroll up to the camera, kind of maybe wink at the camera. Or no, winking would imply that I know something is gonna happen. Maybe I'm just having a stroll, having a great day, and then I teleport up to the UFO. Would it be funny if I I teleport without my clothes? That would really make it seem like I did not know this was gonna happen. Or maybe I did, but at the very least I thought I'd be able to bring my clothes with me. Like you see me teleport and my hoodie is still here and it just drops to the ground. And then how should it start? Should it have something to do with like when my kids need me or something like that? The caption could say something badass like when our way of life is threatened, I'm the man for the job. And then I teleport buck naked up to the UFO and am immediately shamed by the aliens for my tiny butt. All right, let's try this. Okay, and then I'm gonna take off my hoodie, put it right where I was, and then drop it. Okay. There was a person. Now that all of the TikToks have been recorded, edited, and posted, let's see how people responded to them. We're gonna go from the least viewed video to the most viewed video, starting off with Addison Rae's dad. So this is the first video that I posted, and it is by far the least liked out of any of the TikToks. It has 45,000 likes. I think people were just confused. Nobody really got the reference. The general consensus amongst the audience is that I'm going insane. Second most liked comment is, "Nurse, he's out again? Is everything okay at home, Danny?" Okay, I was doing these TikToks to make myself seem like a really cool, awesome dad, and kind of feel like it's not working based on that comment. Oh my god, he's lost it. What is he planning? Or is he just having fun on TikTok? All right, he's either planning a video where this is some kind of satire, or he's actually just having some fun, challenging Jake Paul to a fight, begging him to meet up, and sharing some funny videos. Maybe this is just who Danny is now. Okay, next up was the Shaq TikTok. Lots of people praising my very calm demeanor in this picture. You look so comfy and at ease. You don't look terrified for your life at all. Looks like they were really nice. And then one kind of eerie comment. "Please don't die, I love your content." Do they know something that I don't know? I look closer and this was posted by my doctor. Oh no, he's actually been commenting a lot on here. He says, "The test results just came back, it's not looking good. Love your content though. Also, was Ice Spice cool?" Just feel like there's better ways he could have contacted me. Someone said, "Is this real?" And then someone commented under it, "No, it's AI. Look at Ice Spice and Taylor's eyes, or the guy on the right, his hands, or the sunglasses just floating on his shirt." So I guess he's talking about this guy, saying, "No, it's clearly AI. Just look at this dude." Which, is kind of fucked up, because it's not AI, that's just a real guy. Everything in the image is real except me. And even I am real. I'm a real person. I just wasn't in that picture. It's kind of interesting as AI has gotten more popular how whenever anything is fake now, all of the comments are AI. It used to be whenever something was fake, all of the comments were Photoshop. Even if it was a video, it would always be attributed to Photoshop, and now it's AI. Even in this case, when it was actually Photoshop, the accusation that gets thrown out is AI. It's just kind of something interesting I noticed. After I posted that TikTok, I was starting to get a little bit worried. I started this video with hopes of becoming the coolest TikTok dad on the platform before it got deleted. And based on these comments, I was beginning to worry that being a good dad didn't have anything to do with TikToks or Ice Spice. But don't worry, the comments on this UFO video fixed all of that. "Thank you, Danny," we all say in unison. "A modern Shakespeare brought tears to my eye. I saw this on the news, so heartbreaking. Thank you for saving our children, Danny." Wow, this gave me chills. The things we'll do to protect our children. I mean, I don't exactly know what you did in this video, but thank you for doing it. You definitely did something to protect our children, I think. I would unironically watch this as a movie. Yeah, this TikTok was good, but I just wish it took 2 hours. "Oh, Danny, where do I even begin? You are the light to my world. You are the sunshine, Danny, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Can't talk, saving the world." All right, second place, the silver medal of dad TikToks goes to the Scooter in the Woods TikTok. Raking in a whopping 1.1 million views, 295,000 likes. People are really vibing with oversharing strange location dad. One fun thing about posting all of these videos is seeing people comment trying to guess what the video I'm working on might be about based on all of these seemingly unrelated TikToks. None of them have anything to do with each other, so people's guesses were all over the place. But the most common guess, and the one that had the most likes on this particular post was, I'm guessing these videos are him doing AI prompts and seeing which ones go the most viral. Which I think, in a way, goes to show how far AI has come, where I'm replicating real videos that people have made, albeit adding my own little comic twist to them, and people assume that they were generated by an AI. It either goes to show how good AI is, or how bad I am.
Either one. Someone said, too creeped out by Danny's facial expressions to even read the words. That's right, baby. That's my whole plan. I creep you out so much with my facial expressions that you don't even get a chance to notice I just admitted to burying someone in the woods. And finally, my most popular TikTok with 1.6 million views, POV Dad. With such praise as, this has to be for a video, and Danny, this is brain rot. You know, as a father, it's really important to me to have a positive impact on the minds of the next generation, so it means a lot to me that you would say that. Wonder what the new video is gonna be. What, a guy can't just fantasize about his imaginary daughter getting mugged and then his ragtag family coming to her rescue without people getting suspicious? I think that really says something about society today, and as soon as I figure out what it says, I'm gonna be pissed. Look, at the end of the day, we can laugh and giggle at all of these TikToks, but I think it's important what I learned from all of this, which is nothing. But you know what? I love being a dad. It is the best part of my life. I love it so much. And being a dad is an important job. And if you're a dad and you're working hard to give your kids a good life, there's nothing wrong with getting online every once in a while and posting a silly video or two. Sometimes you just gotta post on TikTok to take the edge off, baby. So here's to all the dads out there. I will toast my Dr. Pepper Zero to you. Clink! Alright, well thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. After MGK released his song Emo Girl and then followed it up by appearing in a bunch of insane interviews with Megan Fox talking about their love life, I think we're pretty good on MGK for a while. We don't need any more music. We don't need any more public appearances. We're good. We don't need to know any more about MGK's personal life. And folks, I think MGK finally took notice and he listened. He said, all right, look guys, I get it. No more music, no more interviews. I'm gonna take some time and I'm going to release a stoner comedy movie instead. So he hunkered down and he wrote and directed this movie, Good Morning, which currently has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. We got a good thing going here. 2 movies in a row with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. What's the opposite of a Renaissance man? You know how people, when people can like act and sing and direct, like Donald Glover, people call him a Renaissance man. MGK is like a Dark Ages man. MGK is a medieval man. Also, sorry if I sound sick. Sorry. The moment this movie starts, MGK, aka his character London Clash, gets kind of a weird good morning text from his girlfriend Apple.
Who's texting me? Oh, it's Apple.
The text say, I wish I didn't have to do this through text, and then good morning, but she spells morning with a U. Now you might think that this would make London a little bit confused, but then realize, oh, it's just a typo. And you'd be right. He does have both of those thoughts. The problem with this movie is that the entire movie takes place between those two things happening. This entire movie is about MGK being confused about what those texts meant. Before he gets too concerned, he has to Google what morning with a U means. He's like, my fans are probably young enough that both of their grandparents are still alive. I should probably explain what morning is.
Well, today should be interesting.
Yeah, they let you know right away that this movie was written by a millennial. Well, today's gonna be kind of weird. MGK wrote the entire movie like this. So this just happened. Yeah, so the conflict at the beginning of this movie is that London thinks that Apple is breaking up with him. That text was a breakup text. Sorry to have to do this through text. Good morning, as in like happy morning our relationship? What kind of person is Apple that he assumes the text good morning means have a good time with your depression now? Look, this relationship isn't working. We're just growing apart. I just feel like you need to have a happy morning now. A happy grieving to you, good sir. When they introduce this character, she better be like wearing a top hat and carrying around a cane. It's gonna make a lot more sense when that happens.
Good morning, good morning.
Today might suck, guys. I'm adulting today. All right, guys, it's time to attend the MGK School of Acting. You're about to step into an ice-cold shower. How do you react when the water hits your body? Shiver! Rub your arms to make yourself warm. Okay, those are good answers. Let's ask Professor Gun Kelly. Ooh, sorry, you guys all get Fs. Your punishment? You have to look at MGK's ass. That is just horrendous. I never wanted to see that.
You know why it sucks when you're going through it with your partner?
You're not going through it with your partner. She sent you one understandable typo, dude. Everything's fine. You're fine.
Yo, does this look like a breakup text to you, or am I tripping?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, take it from the weirdest looking man you've ever seen who falls asleep in his cereal mid-conversation. That's a breakup text. I don't mean to shame this man's appearance. I think Cody Ko looks great here. This is Cody Ko if TMG made hyperpop music. This man has never sent a normal text in his life. I'm surprised he wasn't like, no, that's about as incoherent and cryptic as I usually am in my text. You're probably fine. His friend is clearly sick. At the beginning of the scene, he throws up on the microwave, and at the end of the scene, he drowns in his cereal bowl, and MGK leaves him to die. MGK, your friend is sick. Help him. And so am I. God damn. Also, just like a fun little continuity note, at the beginning of this scene, there wasn't a water bottle on the table, and then at the end of the scene, there is. So, that's probably why this movie has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ass continuity. I'm a stickler for details.
Meet Kennedy.
Uh-oh, guys. Megan Fox is here, and she is not like other girls. Megan Fox plays a girl named Kennedy, who's actually not the main love interest in this movie. Her character is actually lesbian, and at the beginning of this movie, MGK explains how, like, she hates boys, but she lives with all these boys, and so she's moving out, which MGK explains right after he forgets his line.
It's in rice.
Come on, you got it, dude. You wrote the movie, you should know it.
Please don't move out.
Yes, he did it. He remembered. It's a pretty long line. I'll cut him some slack. Throughout the beginning of the movie, they're constantly introducing new characters, and every character in this movie has some kind of weird quirk. This friend, like, did too many drugs at a music festival, and now he's kind of loopy. This guy is always throwing water balloons at people. This guy, like, smokes a lot of weed. It seems like MGK wrote this movie with just a bunch of crazy, weird characters, because the only, like, joke that he can think of to put in this movie is another character saying something weird or dumb, and him just kind of looking at them being like, that was kind of weird or dumb.
Mercury is in Everglades.
It's retrograde, Leo.
Every time he introduces a new character, there's narration that explains what the weird quirk about these characters are.
This is Angel. Meet Maxine Goldberg.
But they kind of don't, like, explain really what I want to know about these characters.
This is Dylan. I met him when he was working at In-N-Out, and he used to hook me up with free burgers and shakes. He's been my boy ever since.
We don't care that he used to work at In-N-Out. That is so irrelevant. Please tell us why he's so sick. Why is he throwing up and passing out? That's more interesting. The reason that London Clash is so rich and cool that he lives in Rice Gum's house is that he is an actor. So throughout the movie, he's doing actor type things. Like, he films this self-audition tape. I don't really know what he's auditioning for. It kind of seems like he's auditioning for everything and also nothing all at once.
Okay, this is my impersonation of Draco Malfoy looking for drugs.
Where's the pot, Potter?
I don't like Draco very much.
Honestly, this scene is pretty sad. I felt bad watching it. They don't explain what he's supposed to be auditioning for in this self-tape, but whatever it is, Jake Novak has a better chance of getting the role.
I want to be the next SNL cast member.
Now, here's where the movie prevents the second conflict. That's right, this movie has two conflicts. The first is he gets that text with the typo, but the second is that today he has the biggest audition of his career. And no, it wasn't that self-tape audition. I guess they just kind of threw that in for goofs. He's auditioning to be the next Batman.
I'm still waiting to hear from my agent about this Batman role.
So, throughout the movie, London is faced with two equally important problems. The first, he has to prepare for the most life-changing, career-making audition of his life. And the second is that he's having a little bit of trouble getting a hold of his girlfriend. The stakes can't get much higher than this, folks. But Danny, can't he just prepare for the audition and then try to get a hold of his girlfriend later that day or tomorrow at the latest? No! They could be dead tomorrow, especially that one guy. He could die any second. They have to do both of them today. This movie kind of feels like a Lele Pons YouTube skit from like 2017, but instead of like 10 minutes long, it's an hour and a half long. From the sound effects to the uncomfortable silence between every spoken line in this movie.
Why would you give me goat milk?
I watched an interview. You said you like goat milk.
I can't tell if they're using the awkward silence for like comedic effect to like really hammer home that like, these guys are kind of weird. Or if the silence is more just because nobody knows their lines very well. There's another option that they added in all these pauses in the movie because we're supposed to be laughing at the things that they're saying in the movie. So they added in nice little pauses for us to laugh.
She left with the dude?
A buff dude. And they had bags. And yes, they left together.
In fact, it kind of feels like, have you ever seen people who have edited The Big Bang Theory so that it doesn't have the laugh track to show how like bad all of the jokes are?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Denise, the new assistant manager.
That's kind of what this movie feels like.
Why are your eyes all watery?
Because I'm high.
That's way better. Bazunga. It's so fitting that this movie feels like a bad YouTube video from 5 years ago, because I'm pretty sure they filmed this at Rice Gum's old house. Did something happen in that house? Is there like a curse? 100 years ago, one of Hollywood's earliest YouTubers died in that house, and now all the content that's created there is cursed to be mad disappointing. Okay, so now they got to investigate what's happened to Apple. London's phone is broken, so he can't contact her, so the only thing he can do is go looking for her. So he goes to the last place she was seen and talks to Pete Davidson.
Did you see Apple? Yeah, she was just here like 2 minutes ago.
Did she say where she was going?
You know what? She did. She actually... No, are you fucking crazy? You guys never talk to me. I mean, the only reason you know my name is because it's on my name tag. Right there. B-E-R-R-Y. Barry.
Pete Davidson feels like he's not really invested in this movie at all. He breaks the fourth wall a little bit too much in this movie. He reads his name tag like he's making fun of the fact that it doesn't say Pete Davidson. He's like, Barry? That's not my real name. My real name's Pete. It's funny because I'm very clearly Pete Davidson and not some guy named Barry who works at a valet stand. There's also a scene later on in the movie where he looks directly into the lens of the camera. I think they could have cut that out. Well, talking to Pete Davidson, sorry, Barry. It's just so funny that he's pretending to be Barry. Talking to Barry didn't get him any leads, so I guess that means now it's time to go to his audition. No, sorry. Sorry, he breaks into Apple's house to find clues?
Find clues, please.
Find clues of what? What might she have left lying around that would indicate whether she made a typo this morning or not? They find a bag of her fingers? She was missing her fingers this morning. That's why she fucked up the tags. Oh. We should probably call the police, right?
I'm not breaking into my girlfriend's house. Can't believe I'm breaking into my girlfriend's house.
Me neither, dude. Your life is pretty crazy. London Clash is so dumb. He makes the worst decisions at every move in this movie, okay? While they're in Apple's house, one of London's friends knocks over every single urn on the mantle, and ashes go everywhere. And so they're like, oh shit, we have to put back the urns and then refill the ashes. But they're like, the only problem is, where are we supposed to find ashes? Where are we gonna find enough ashes to fill up these urns? But like, they didn't lose the ashes. They all just fell on the floor. They could just sweep them up and put them back in urns. It's like MGK was like constantly forgetting what previously happened in movies, and so the plot is being driven forward by things that just aren't problems. So anyway, as I said, this is a stoner comedy. You can probably guess the solution they think of to produce a bunch of ashes to fill back up the urns.
I'm stoner.
Yep. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Ah, bunch of weed. This movie's crazy. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Well, at least this dumbass plan that doesn't make any sense is gonna result in like some crazy shit happening, right? Something funny's bound to happen now, right? Wrong. They just spend like 10 minutes having a boring ass smoke session on the couch. And then one of them tries to talk to a lobster. They really sat around writing this movie and were like, what's the craziest thing that could happen while we're high? And then settled on talking to a lobster. You know, since weed is legalized in a lot of places like California, where they filmed this, I feel like stoner comedies aren't nearly as like interesting or edgy as they used to be. You know, smoking used to be kind of like a fringe culture. It doesn't really feel like this is like, it's like that crazy or funny anymore. This is a scene of 4 adults sitting around a living room and obeying the law.
Why did you spell it like that?
It's a typo.
Oh my god, it was a typo all along? Who would have guessed that? So I guess now the movie can end now, right? The movie can't end now, right? The movie can end now, right? There's 30 minutes left in this movie? What the fuck is gonna happen? What are they gonna do for 30 more minutes? Sit at a diner, apparently. So you're probably wondering how they wrap this whole thing up, huh? MGK missed his audition, he's not getting the role. His girlfriend is pissed off at him. How are they gonna wrap this movie up? Some sort of grand gesture that wins over both the director and the girlfriend? No, obviously not. That would make too much sense. London Clash gets the role because the director happened to see an Instagram live stream where London Clash gets punched in the face by Dennis Rodman, and the director just assumes that London Clash did that because he wanted to like impress him or something. It's a whole other plot line that I didn't really go into in this video, but it doesn't make any sense in the movie either. So he's got the role, now the only thing left is to get the girl, which he does by sending her a text at the diner being like, can we talk? And she's like, sure. And so they're driving to meet each other. He's texting her the whole way. He's texting and driving, and they get into a car crash, and then they are both paralyzed. That face says it all. That just happened. That's the resolution. He almost murders her. Irresponsible. He was texting and driving and he almost murders his girlfriend, and that's how it ends. After the credits roll, there's like a fun little blooper reel where we get to see the actors like messing around and not knowing their lines very well, which would have been a lot more fun if I hadn't felt like I had just watched an hour and a half of exactly that. Well, folks, what do you think? From rapper to pop punk icon to writer, director, and actor extraordinaire, which do you think MGK did best? Leave it in the comments down below. What do you think he'll get up to next? It's anyone's guess at this point. Professional fencer? Or maybe like a chef? He'll start just making food. That might be kind of sick. And you know what? All he would need to get started is HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit and the sponsor of this video. Guys, I love HelloFresh. They send you fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, so you can savor delicious summer flavors right from home. I love getting a HelloFresh box because you know what it means? It means I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat for dinner every night. I'm not gonna find myself driving to some fast food chain to get a quick meal, because I know I've got a quality meal that I can whip up in like 35 minutes right at home. And I know it's gonna be tasty. I know it's gonna be healthy. If you're trying to stick to a particular health goal, HelloFresh has you covered because they have veggie options, fit and wholesome options, and pescatarian options. So HelloFresh fits a variety of lifestyles. Their plans are super flexible. You can pause 1 week if you want to. You can add more food 1 week if you want to. And even if you're on vacation, you can change the delivery address to deliver to your vacation destination. And then you can have home-cooked meals when you're at the family reunion. HelloFresh is the very first carbon-neutral meal kit company, and nearly all of their packaging is recyclable. They help cut down on food waste because they send you pre-portioned ingredients so you're only using what you need. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and have a flavorful summer, then head on over to HelloFresh.com. Use my code TrulyGreg16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's HelloFresh.com. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Now I'm going to do the outro of this video. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my audience here on YouTube. We're the biggest and happiest family on YouTube. That is a scientific fact. Please do not look it up. Please do not fact check me, because facts don't care about your feelings, and I don't care about facts. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of But Dads Are Back.
You are not the father.
Yay! That's right, this is another installment of everybody's favorite series where I look at really strange ads for mobile games. There's this one that seemed to go viral on Twitter a couple days ago that like everybody's been tagging me in, so I figure, you know what? I might as well bring back the series for an episode to talk about it. This video has 300,000 likes and 8 million views on Twitter, and guess what? I've got beef with them. I have a pretty significant beef with these ads, and I'll explain why, but first, let's just go ahead and watch the ad that everybody's been tagging me in. To be fair, I did have to watch this multiple times for it to make sense to me, so I'm gonna walk you through it. That way, nobody gets lost along the way. So the ad starts out with very little context. It's a woman in a wedding dress, she's crying, and she's taking a taxi home, only to find out that her house has burnt down. Right away, so much backstory that I feel like I'm missing. The first time I watched this, I'm like, are we in the middle of an ad right now? Is this the beginning of the ad? Am I supposed to have watched other ads before this? But rest assured, I've watched a bunch of other ads for this game, and there is no context to be found. There is no explanation, so you just have to accept that this woman is having a very bad day. Then she gets a call from her grandma, and it looks like her grandma comes over to like comfort her for whatever happened at the wedding. I don't know if her fiance like stood her up or died, or if she stood him up or died. While she's being comforted, it also looks like she's holding a picture of herself from the wedding. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's supposed to be the grandma's wedding photos, and she's showing her granddaughter like, look at how happy I was at my wedding. Aw, your fiance stood you up and died at your wedding? Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Look how happy I was at my wedding, though. Look at all these pictures. See how I'm smiling at all of them? The reason I'm smiling is because my husband was present at the wedding and alive. at the wedding as well. I wasn't marrying a present corpse. He was also alive. Does that make you feel better? Are my happy memories making you feel better? Why not? Then I guess to further comfort her, the grandma gives her a house, which I guess would be a nice gift, but the house is in like terrible condition. The grandma just gives her the keys to this like dilapidated shack. I guess it's big, but is that even a nice gift for someone who just went through like a horrible breakup? Hey, so I know that you're really sad that the person you love the most in your life stood you up at your wedding and doesn't want anything to do with you anymore, but you know what would make you feel better? A really big empty house. A house so big that it could be full of like some little kids running around or a little husband running around, but instead it's just big and empty. Does that make you feel better? Why not? Plus on top of that, with how like out of repair this house is, this just seems like a huge burden. I mean, I hope it'll be nice when it's done because it is pretty big, but like, this just seems like so much work. You know, it actually doesn't even look like it's in that much better condition than her original house. Well, sweetie, we know that you really miss your house because it burnt down and that was like the worst day of your life. So we wanted to make you feel better. So as a community, we all pitched in and raised enough money to buy you a second burnt down house. Go on, get in there. So by now the ad is about halfway done, and if you're wondering like, wait, what even is this game? I don't understand how this is an ad for the game, and what is going on? You're not alone. But luckily they take a pause from the story real quick to show us some actual gameplay from the game. And it's just like a home improvement game, like a gardening and fixer-uppy game. In fact, you might notice that it has kind of like a similar vibe to Lily's Garden, which I talked about like, I don't even know how long ago, like a year ago? A year and a half? If you don't remember, Lily's Garden were the absurdly inappropriate ads for a gardening game. They had all sorts of fun ads, like Lily's private time sitting on the washer, Lily pretending that she's pregnant so that her boyfriend will leave her. All sorts of wacky scenarios that they used to market this game that, as far as I could tell, was just about gardening. So hold the absolute F up, Merge Mansion, which is the name of this game. I don't know if I've said it yet. So hold up, Merge Mansion. You think you can just steal Lily's Garden's thing? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to allow this copycat behavior, okay? Sure, I didn't like Lily's Garden ads at the time, or even now. And they also tried to start beef with me by putting my little nutcracker guy in their commercials next to a dumpster. So really, I shouldn't be defending them at all. But you know what, Merge Mansion? Stop it. It's also just like so over the top for a game about just like home improvement. Is all of this context and backstory necessary? Would this be important to me if I downloaded the game? Would I use this information at all? So I've got an empty spot in my garden. I can either plant a tree or build a statue. Keeping in mind that my fiance did either die or stand me up on my wedding day, I think the choice is actually pretty clear. I'm going back to therapy. Okay, so then the ad takes a drastic turn. What the hell did Grandma do? Huh? It's not clear what they're arresting her for. And they never explain it either, so I'm not sure if it's just like another thing that you're just gonna have to accept you don't know the answer to, like what happened to her fiance and how did her house start on fire? Or maybe it has something to do with the fiance and the house. I don't know. Did she burn down the house? Did she burn down the fiance? I don't know. And there you go, that's the whole ad. He is alive. Oh, rats, Merge Mansion. Just when I think I figured out some of the context of this ad, you go and pull the rug right out from under me. What the fuck does that mean? So, who is alive, first of all? The fiance? I'm going to have to assume that's who they're talking about, which makes me think that I might have been right about them all thinking the fiance died. Is that why the wedding was canceled? And if so, how did they think that he died? How did they think that he died but never saw him be dead? Did he just not show up to the wedding and everyone was like, damn, he must be dead? That's the only reason a groom has never not showed up to a wedding, because he died. So, that sucks. Maybe at first they thought the fiance stood her up at the wedding, but then when she got home to where she and the fiance lived together, the house is burned down. So then they're like, oh shit, he didn't just stand her up. He stood life up. He stood up the rest of his life. Now that's all interesting enough, right? That was a very strange ad, I think we can all agree. But if you scroll down in this Twitter thread, apparently there are other endings to this ad. There are like slight alternate endings that apparently other people have seen. So here's one of them. Instead of saying he is alive, her hand says, I planned this. Which I feel like if we're talking about the whole like fiance fake death thing, like almost means the exact same thing. There's also an alternate ending that has her saying you're next on the hand. I mean, all sort of just alluding to the same fact that the grandma did something nefarious and that's why the fiance disappeared, or, you know, she did something wild and wacky and now she's going to jail. I can't wrap my head around why they made these alternate endings. Are they like targeting the different ads to different groups of people? Like this really small change will have a different appeal to different demographics? Okay, so we're thinking that You're Next will go to the Gen Zers. But for the older crowd, like the baby boomers, we're thinking I planned this on her hand. Because old people really like planning. After doing a little bit of detective work on YouTube, I was able to find like, I guess the production company or studio or something that makes these ads. Okay, so that ad is about having a threesome. Does the game, I just want to know, does the game have anything to do with these ads? This home improvement game? I can't imagine it does. Okay, so now I'm out in the garden and here's a bush. What do I want to do here? I can either water bush, cut bush, have sex with two people hiding in bush. It's interesting that this is like the studio that makes these ads because they have a little description. Merge Mansion, a hit game from Metacore, needed 3 different ads full of warmth, humor, and drama. Warmth, humor, and drama. The simple warmth of finding out your fiance died and that your house burnt down and that your grandma had something to do with it all. They wanted to make films that are distinctive, surprising, and interesting from the first second. Distinctive? Try telling that to Lily's Garden, dude. I'm actually in love with this Twitter thread though, because once this tweet started picking up traction and a bunch of people started seeing it, everybody started replying with weird ads that they've seen. And yeah, there's some weird ass ads out there. I haven't done this series in a while, and it turns out that developers have been going buck wild, dude. That's all I can say. Look at this. Wow. Dude, what a brutal kick. Oh my god. The sound effect and everything. I know that this is a common theme for all of these game ads, but I couldn't even wager a guess as to what this game is about. They're like stranded on an island, maybe? Like a desert island, but also this dude is like doing a little stripper pole dance for this girl. It's this fun new game where a group of people get stranded on a desert island and they have to start a new society, and instead of implementing money as currency, they implement pole dancing and lap dances, weirdly enough, as currency. And instead of jail, you just get punted. This next ad is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. And there's no way you'll believe me unless I just play it, so here you go. Dude, what is this? Stinky fart dragon game? Dragonscapes.adventure. What the hell? What is this? The dragon farts once and the girl laughs and she's like, oh, you like that? You kind of like when I fart? And the girl's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of silly. It's kind of like funny in an immature type of way. And the dragon's like, oh, okay. Well, how about I fart so hard that I break your spine? You like my farts, huh? How about I fucking kill you? Wait, is this the same girl? Dude, it is! Wait, okay, so this ad had nothing to do with dragons, but this is clearly the same girl. She's got the same outfit and everything. Okay, maybe this game doesn't have anything to do with pole dancing or dragons. Is it just about punting this girl? Sending her flying? Okay, so the main object of this game is to wait until this girl's having a good time, see how she's dancing and having fun, or she like thinks that the dragon's fart is kind of funny. You wait until she's having fun, and then you just fucking send her. Oh, wait. In the very last frame, it looks like now she's on an island by herself. So is this like the backstory for how she gets stranded on Stripper Pole Island? She was just having a good time washing her dragon and then she got like farted onto a deserted island? Maybe I'm reading too much into this. Is this even a real game? Wow, that game looks pretty cringe. That game looks so weird. Who would download that? I mean, what do? You're in like colonial times and you form an army of dudes wearing only boxer briefs that can like form together into these sick big weapons, and then you like fight off these other armies? That's crazy. Crazy bad. That looks like a bad game. What is this game even called? Something dumb, probably. What is it? Guns of Glory? That's crazy, man. I would never want to even look at a game like that now that I know the name of it. Oh, look, this looks like one of those like episode type games, like a choose your adventure type thing. She says my fantasy ... and I guess you get to pick. Her two options are Spank Me Master or Spank My Ass Master. Is there a difference? Spank my ass, master. Now spank me, master. Anyways, guys, I think that's enough bedads for now. Now it's time for a good ad. Thanks to our sponsor, Sleeper. You guys, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Sleeper. Sleeper is a fantasy sports platform. It's an app that's available on the App Store and the Google Play Store, but it's not just any fantasy platform, it's the best fantasy platform for all of your fantasy football, basketball, and for gamers like me, it's even got esports. The reason I think Sleeper is the best fantasy platform out there is because they've got personality, dude. I mean, look at this app. It's got a sleek, modern design. It's got a beautiful UI, very clean, laid out just right. They've got all the features you're used to in fantasy apps and more. They've got social features like voice and text chat, which means leagues that use Sleeper have more fun. They chat more, they react to moves that happen all season long, and it all comes with 0 ads. If you don't have a group of friends to play with, that's fine because Sleeper just released